the bar tonight. Come on. Okay, there we go. Stream. This is early. This is what I try to at least usually go for, time-wise. I also try to push for it, but honestly, I was trying to get out early, but one of our night managers is like, yo, you mind hooking me up with quick Sammy really quick? I just literally want some turkey, cheese, and mayo, and that's it. You mind doing that for me? And I'm like, fuck, fine. I'll do that. So, would have gone out a little earlier. So is the grease trap. Dude, today's grease trap was pretty nice. I kind of like how they're doing public grease trap episodes for people this week. It's basically like this entire week is essentially like, hey, get on the Patreon. Get on the Patreon content. I'm gonna tell my friends about it, honestly, being like, telling Stefan at least, like, hey, honestly, I think it would be worth it, to put over, like, $7, to their Patreon and delve to the content, because honestly, they do a lot of really good episodes of good Patreon content. If I wasn't a piece of shit, or if I was a piece of shit and a pirate, I could, just say fuck it and show it, but then, I mean, considering my presence, on top of, small as it is, on top of, being a patron and doing these, when it comes to my presence, at least in the Pessimist Productions community, I don't really want to do that, you know what I mean? I don't want to be that. I don't want to be the next Kawaii Cost. Without the sad, degenerate edginess that was Kawaii Cost. Lone Bober worked as a fucking prostitute and had abortions while being one. What a hypocritical bitch. If she just kept being a prostitute, I wouldn't care about her. So I wanted to be a pirate. It's not that hard, so I'll leave contact to the Pirate Bay. Not to advocate that doing that. Yeah. Honestly, when it comes to their old movie commentaries, I actually kind of low-key hope people did kind of pirate that shit. Because, like, I've been, like, kind of itching for the old movie commentaries they had on Vimeo before Vimeo became a bunch of greedy cocksuckers. Who tried to, like, basically robber baron the fuck out of all the people that were subscribed to their, like, subscriptions for making content there and shit. Like, the Green Misty Sky, fucking Swamp Babe, Gay Yeti 1 and 2. There's a bunch of them, dude. Bad Ben. They still need to go down Steelmanville Road. They need to go down that road because the longer they wait, the more they get made. There's been like at least like 2 or 3 made since fucking since you last watched it. Well, actually, probably more now. think they could fucking, like, you know, try to make us forget. No. It's not how it works. Because honestly, like, eventually I want them to, you know, really go back into it. What's this? The Amityville horror movies. Does he actually, like, watch these? No. It's just here's one of their movie reviews. No, I don't mean, like, commentaries. Like, the actual commentaries. Like, them watching it and commentating over it. And besides, this one's a public episode that they did. Well, this is actually on Amazing Atheist channel, so something that TJ uploaded. Here. Oops. Yeah, God's Not Dead 1, 2, and 3. Yep. Dude, those are my favorite. On The Green Misty Sky was probably my personal favorite because of how cringe it was and how much it broke their fucking brains. Oh, I also got some alcohol to try. Cherry Sublime. Sour cherry and lime. Gonna see how good this is. Two Town ciders, or, you know, honestly, when it comes down to it, ooh, they haven't made anything I don't like yet. So, this has a good smell to it, though. If it has, like, you know, kind of like a sour cherry lime soda type of flavor, I'm really gonna like it. Did you know they made a God's Not Dead 4? Burn it. Burn it. Not bad. I'd say it's alright. It's maybe just a touch too sour, but it's not overwhelming. But that's actually really good. After finish this last grindful, we take it tall and break it till it's time to flee Fashion's Bama. Hell yeah, bro. Gotta save up the money for it. Besides, I can, you know, give you like a little starter package, you know, for you to have. And plus, it'll be legitimate grown dispensary stuff. So it'll be quality stuff. Am I tasting cinnamon in this? Yeah. I don't think it's meant to have the taste, but at least for me, I have a slight cinnamon flavor, after flavor, drinking that. It's not bad, but I think that might be because of the apple, and the souriness is kind of making a mixture of kind of like, you know, like apple cinnamon almost. Probably because of the lime and the cherry. But honestly, this isn't really that bad. I'm still wondering where the here, let me read it. Did he have Henry's hard soda up there? If so, you should try their cherry soda alcohol mix. Henry's hard soda. I think they used to. I think I know what you're talking about. Fruity and zappy, blah, 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 blah. Is it sweet or is it sour? You decide. Well, it's a little bit of both. It's sweet and sour. Fully crafted in Oregon. Yeah, it doesn't say anything. Definitely no. It's just Northwest apple juice, sour cherry juice, key lime juice, malic acid, and sulfites. on top of, you know, what makes it a fermented alcoholic beverage. I kind of wish it had a little bit more of a, like, cherry lime soda flavor to it a little bit. Just a little bit. And toned it sour just like a skosh. But this is actually pretty good. I love cherry drinks. They're my weakness. Well, if you like sour too, then you might like these. They're seasonal, so they're like a seasonal summer thing. Tasty. Delicious. I know my friend Rip City and my buddy Harley is actually out at a concert right now, watching Slipknot with Cypress Hill, and then I think HO9909, some fucking band I've never heard of, which apparently is like metalcore and rap at the same time, which actually sounds like it'd be pretty good. I know Cypress Hill, I've heard of them and listened to them before a bunch of times, and they're good. Actually, Prophets of Rage is a mixture of Rage Against the Machine, Cypress Hill, and I think Ice-T, I believe. But there's one other dude they were with. But but essentially, you know, they were just like doing like, you know, like kind of like a new wave Rage Against the Machine type of thing. And then I guess Rage Against the Machine decided to get back together like in totality. So Prophets of Rage is more or less kind of like essentially just kind of like, you know, kind of a passion project, if anything. But still a fun one. I watched a documentary on Seattle in the 90s today. I didn't know so much of the music I grew up with came from the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, dude. Dude, honestly, man, like, the Pacific Northwest has a very strong music culture. I mean, even to this day. Like, there isn't really much, like, an ongoing scene so much, I mean, as it used to. But it's still there. Like, I mean, and a lot of it's just due to the current socioeconomic conditions. It's just really hard to actually have, like, a scene set up. You know, it's, like, hard to have, like, a house that you can rent out or have a place that's set up like a house show and actually fund that and, you know, have, like, a network and shit. Like, just that, you know, having at least, like, kind of local garage style on the ground, house show style shit, it's just hard to keep up with things like that. I mean, that's how a lot of the punk scene that I kind of grew up in and shit a little bit here in Oregon, or at least in Portland, that's how it died off a lot. Like, one of the people that were setting up, one of them that was in a relationship, they broke up, so they eventually went their own separate ways, and then also financially they couldn't keep up with everything, and keeping the house up and make sure that it was at least stable enough to, you know, to have house shows and shit. You know, on top of, you know, a couple other things. So it's just like, you know, unless you got the money and, like, the especially passionate commitment to keep up with that shit, I mean, you know, unfortunately there won't be much of a scene, but it's not like those people don't exist, though. Like, I think a lot of people, at least especially friends that I know, misconstrued, like, oh, you know, punk is dead, rock is dead, this is dead, blah, 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 just because there's no, like, active scene. It's like, what? Just because there isn't no active scene doesn't mean there's people interested in this shit. Like, I mean, it just takes enough people with, you know, enough money to pull it up together and just start some shit. Like, I mean, you know, and that's really what it takes. I mean, you know, but also there's, like, bars, there's other places that will actually, you know, be open, you know, to, like, take on punk shows and shit like that. So, I mean, it's just about just getting this shit set up, because those people are out there and they see things that are out there, they will go to it. One of the places here that does musical acts are bars and big venues in the city. That tends to be the case for the most part around here too, but like I said, there used to be like a pretty good strong house show scene as well. Not so much, like I'm saying, it's not really much anymore these days. It's mostly like bars and smaller venues and bigger venues and shit, depending on, you know, the act. Big ass venues, big ass venues that are kind of like, you know, small stadiums, like the Roseland Theater's kind of like a more medium sized venue. The Moda Center / the Rose Garden, that's kind of like a small stadium sized venue, because that's where the Trailblazers play at. That's where the basketball field is. And then, you know, there's like some smaller venues like the Hawthorne Theater, Bossa Nova, shit like that. And then there's, you know, bars and shit that have, like, you know, small little stages and shit. I imagine there are better bars and venues where you, oh, dude, there is. There's a lot of really cool bars and shit. That here is mostly shitty country bars. I don't mind that, but they can't be all of them. I can't have, like, every goddamn bar be, like, some sad, watered-down, fucking bumblefuck country bar. Like, there has to be, like, you know, a little something else. Real sad shit you see there. Ugh, I bet. I mean, there's some sad shit you'll see at some bars around here, too. But I mean, for the most part, it just depends on which one you go to and, like, what time of day and what area of Portland you're in. You know, there's a few variables, but honestly, if you know which places are pretty legit and just go to those, I mean, you're gonna be alright. You'll definitely meet some interesting characters regardless, though. I definitely have. Even at my little local watering hole. Got a little fucking haircut. Did I get it? Nope. Shit. Come on. Let me see if I get this fucking thing. No. So I was always so expected the bathroom, I think we'll be okay. So that's problem down here. Same here, dude. Actually, tonight, bro, I got a little story. So some dude, apparently, and actually, at least in this instance, I kind of don't necessarily disagree about it. Because it was actually kind of some legit tweaker shit. But some dude stole a car, apparently, for like a month or so, or some shit. And has basically been tweaking around in it. And happened to be next to my coworker's wife's car where they had their newborn baby in and shit like that. And they were just smoking up meth with their windows down with all the meth smoke going into their car where their baby was at. So she kind of calls it in along with like 4 other people because there was like a bunch of other people that kind of noticed it and were like, yo, what the fuck? And apparently it's just like while they were on phone about it, and my coworker went out there and for 1 second he saw him and then looked down for like 30 maybe like 40 seconds about, looked up, saw cops, and that dude was gone. Like just not eating, nowhere to be found, left the car and everything. So then apparently for like the last like couple hours, this happened around like, actually not even a couple hours, but probably like 2 hours ago, and then about like an hour into it, they found the dude trying to leave in the stolen car and shit. You shit on the pig, so yeah, you called them curious. I didn't call them. Kidding, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. I had nothing to do with it. I was overhearing the whole. Like, I saw it like once they already caught the person and were looking through the car and shit. Which by that point had some weird, like, you know, tweaker shit and, like, you know, some bags of probably meth from what I understood. So, yeah, like, the dude was definitely not only tweaking, but maybe dealing. And also, Grand Theft Auto, like, I mean, frankly, I don't really give a fuck about the guy smoking meth. It's really the Grand Theft Auto part. And also the etiquette. Like, I don't give a shit what you do. Cigarettes, caffeine, like, well, okay, well, anyway, who gives a fuck about that? But, like, you know, alcohol, like, why do I keep saying that? Alcohol, cigarettes, weed, meth, I don't give a fuck. But if you're, like, around a baby, like a newborn and shit, and you're, like, getting that smoke all up in, you know, up in their grill, like, I mean, there's, like, some etiquette shit where it's like, dude, go fuck yourself, bro. Like, if you're gonna, like, tweak out and meth out, bro, like, go into a part of the parking lot where there's literally nobody around and no cars at all, and have your windows up, bro. I mean, it's just like, you know, I mean, it's like, goddamn. And also, you stole a car, so you did Grand Theft Auto. So, I mean, you know, it's just like, that's straight up, that in itself, I think, you know, is straight up a crime. You know, so it's just like, I don't give a fuck about the meth shit necessarily. I just give a fuck about the etiquette part of it, you know, just being so dumb about it and being an asshole, and then also doing the carjacking. So it's just like, I mean, I guess then, you know, it's the one time where cops actually do their fucking job, but it's just like, I mean, I swear to God, like, literally every night so far, there's always fucking something going on. Like, you know, 2 nights ago, or about, like, 3 nights ago, there was, like, some sort of fucking chase and shit, and I get off work and happen to see the end result of that. The night before that, there was, like, some dude causing troubles at the Sevi's across the street, and then came over to our store causing some shit. And today, you know, it's just, it's just like, literally, like, every fucking day, there's always something where goddamn pigs are about, bro. Goddamn, like, fucking get, so, like, I'm wondering because, like, every cop in America is just like, we don't want to look like Uvalde. And so they're all just kind of, like, actually doing shit now, I guess. Because I've been, like, it's straight up, I've been seeing them so much lately. And I'm wondering if it's, you know, that, because straight up, honestly, they never really fucking do much, you know, at all. Like, I mean, cops around here really hardly do fuck all. So it's kind of interesting that they're suddenly starting to do shit randomly. Shortly after, there was a major national incident where cops were blatantly and openly shown to literally not do anything. Shame cops didn't actually protecting the servant for once. Yeah. And like I said, it's one of the rare instances where they're actually legitimately doing their job. Like, I mean, it's one thing that you're tweaking, but it's another thing when you're carjacking, you know what I mean? And even then, I don't necessarily think that needs to be a serious penalty. Like, obviously, you should face, you know, some sort of a punishment for that type of thing, and, you know, face recompense for it, but, like, it's not necessarily something that's, you know, like a major severe type of crime. Just, you know, get the car cleaned up, you know, whatever was stolen or lost, you know, in the vehicle from the previous owner, you have insured and covered, you know, replaced if possible, and, you know, return the car back to them after it was all cleaned up and shit, and then fucking, you know, just, you know, have a year or two, you know, for the person that did it, and, you know, fucking, like, some community service in a fine or something, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it doesn't really need to be, like, you know, some severe thing. I mean, frankly, if anything, considering to do with swinking, like, you can use that 1 year to basically be a rehabilitative program thing, where they're, you know, put at a rehabilitative facility. But Oregon doesn't actually have anything like that quite yet, as far as I know, so... That's kind of why, you know, I'm on board with the whole legalize, tax, regulate all drugs thing, because we can use the tax funds for that, you know, for things like that. So if people do happen to be doing things like, you know, carjacking and tweaking out on meth, then they'll go in the rehabilitative program, and at least hopefully have a far higher chance of, you know, integrating back into society. You know, instead of just being re-incentivized and revitalized, you know, back into that same type of fucking system, going in the same reciprocal cycle. Just itching for that next fucking hit once they get out. So. Can I help you, dog? Can I help you, little puppo? And this is a big or we could use that money to send more bullets to Ukraine, Kappa. Oh, yeah. Yeah, instead of, you know, helping, you know, the domestic populace here at home, we could just send more of that to fucking Ukraine shit, yeah. Just have, you know, just keep funding that Lend-Lease, you know, fucking military-industrial complex contract, you know, endlessly. Because, you know... That's totally doing everybody a favor. I mean, it's just like at this point, I mean, considering how the narrative is like shifted with that so hard, you know, that people aren't like, there's not much, you know, Ukrainian flags on Twitter and shit, not as much of that anymore. And if anything, like, Ukraine's been actually losing ground in a lot of areas and a lot of parts of the front line and shit. So it's like, essentially now that, like, you know, the overall scale of the war is starting to turn, it's like, well, we'll just kind of keep the funding going on, but if we keep reporting on this, it won't look good on our hands. It's like, I mean, the media / the establishment overall have learned from Vietnam. If you report on the war, even if you're losing or not looking good, then that doesn't, you know, do much favors for people, you know, being in favor of that war. because, well, obviously, they're going to just see a bunch of their buddies or their allies or the friendlies that they're supposed to support all dead. And they don't want to see that because they're either going to be more rabble-roused into the war or just be against it because what's the point of the bloodshed? I mean, if we learn anything from Vietnam, I mean, there was a lot of vehement anti-war sentiment, but not really much anymore. But there's a reason why for it. Because they don't report on it as much unless it's positive, you know, for the establishment to make everyone all like, yeah! Can I help you, bro? Oh, you want the ball. Some people say just give Ukraine nukes and Russia's forced to either nuke or retreat. Well, those people are literally psychopathic and need to be put in a sane asylum. Give Ukraine nukes and, you know, Russia will either have to nuke the fuck out of them or just retreat. I'm just like, are you regarded? I know what you meant. Like, yeah, like, are these people unironically, like, tarded on some level? Like, are we serious? Yeah, let's just give a country nukes that's, you know, actively at war right now, because, you know, they totally won't use those at all. I mean, Russia already has them, and frankly, no reason why they haven't is because, you know, NATO hasn't been outright directly involved in shit. Outside of just, you know, Lend-Lease programs and just giving money and weapons funding and small arms and shit like that to the country. And frankly, you know, at least in a certain way, like, at least, like, a lot of these other European nations can afford it on a, you know, a little more than we can, like, even if, you know, NATO and the rest of, like, you know, Europe and shit wants to continue funding it, why don't we, I don't know, quit doing it so we can fucking, you know, use those funds for home? Because if Biden's literally doing fuck all besides, you know, just keeping the entire continuation of the entire status quo as it is, on top, you know, just, you know, make sure Raytheon gets a little bit more money, you know, more javelins, more, you know, more this and that, more small arms, more 5.56 bullets, the whole nine, you know, just keeps going over there. I mean, basically, essentially, the equivalent of the Afghanistan war funding is essentially going to Ukraine. So it's like the whole military budget for that never really went away. It just was like, instead of going to this region, we're going to put all the money and funding to this region. So, yeah. Interesting how the military budget never decreased after we got out of Afghanistan, and now we see why. Because they were waiting for it to go into another fucking region where they can justify that spending. Curious happened to be Ukraine. If it wasn't going to be there, it would have been just somewhere else. Venezuela, Iran. I mean, Rwanda, for fuck's sake, because they're going for some shit. You know, Myanmar, I know they're going for some shit too. Like, I mean, it could literally be anywhere. Ukrainian government should have just given up the territory to Russia once, so there would have been no loss of life because Ukrainian elite decided to keep the power, detriment of citizens. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I mean, at this rate, I mean, considering how the war is going on, it just would be in the best interest. Like, I mean, when it comes, like, whenever people, especially when it was at its peak, you know, asked who do you support, I'm like, the Ukrainian people, and also, you know, just people, you know, just across the board, really. And also it would include the Russian citizens and their and the people under that government, because while they obviously don't necessarily have to feel the direct impacts of the war and shit, you know, like the Ukrainians do. I mean, there's a lot of people from you know, Donetsk and Luhansk regions, and a lot of Ukrainians on that in those areas that tend to be more Russian sympathetic, that get a lot of fucking, like, just outright war crimes committed against them. And it's vice versa. Like, I mean, it's just like, at this point, there's no good side to that fucking war outside of just the average people that have to suffer for it. And honestly, whatever outcome that, you know, leads to the least amount of bloodshed for the people that live in those areas, regardless of what side they happen to be on, you know, to me, that ends up, you know, being the best outcome. There's no way Ukraine could win without direct intervention by the U.S. and our allies, which would rat to World War III. Yeah, it would. And by that point, we would be at risk of nuclear annihilation. Maybe not necessarily outright annihilation, but there would most very, like, the, you know, like, theory of nukes being launched would basically just be right on the table. And if there's anything that comes from international news about Putin's health, and if there's any truth to that, who's to say that he doesn't go out with a bang to try to, like, solidify his regime's power to make sure that the second person in charge, whoever the heir that he'll make sure is enacted after him, continues on with that shit. And potentially in a more competent, but maybe even more militant way. And who knows how that person might react. I mean, it's just like, honestly, the state of the stability in Russia is also very unstable. And honestly, considering how there's been a lot of resistance against Putin's government as it is leading up to this whole war and shit, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if, there is, like, some sort of a coup during that time. Whenever that, if, like I said, there's anything truthful about Putin himself, he doesn't got much longer to live. So it's just like, maybe in the next 4 to 5, 6, 8 years, give or take, we might legit see, like, a very unstable but very, radical, political element going on in Russia, just because there's a lot of people who are very resistant against Putin's government. They're just so heavily suppressed, and whatever media is able to get that out is very limited. And basically everyone has to just bow down to the Kremlin's ideas of what the state media is and shit, because if not, then, whatever type of freedom or expression that you do have will be, very, like, even more limited and restricted. And get, like, fines, jail, who knows what. The U.S. basically sent billions of dollars to military equipment to Russia because that's all the equipment sent over there is go to Russia and never really takes over Ukraine. Yeah. Or far-right paramilitary groups, because honestly, let's say Russia does take over Ukraine, like, entirely. There's going to be a lot of fucking insurrectionists and guerrilla warfare and a lot of different people who are going to be, like, in paramilitary groups fighting the Russian occupation. And a lot of them legit just are fucking far right as fuck. Like, just straight up. Like, Slavic nationalists, pan-Slavists, fucking hardcore Orthodox fundamentalist types and shit. And when you look into what a lot of them believe, it's not really much different to the far right around here. Or in places like in Russia or really anywhere else. It's just that we happen to, for at least a temporary amount of time, trained and gave them weapons and shit. It's not just Azov I'm talking about either. Like, Azov is just one of them. A lot of Nazis on both sides, definitely. Yeah, it's on both sides. And realistically, if anyone has it worse, it's Russia. But that doesn't mean Ukraine doesn't got their own. Because they most certainly do. There's a lot of different Ukrainian troops that just straight up have, like pan-Slavic neo-Nazi style fucking symbolism all over their fucking military patches and shit. So it's like, it's not just Azov, and also just, the average Ukrainian citizen that happens to be out there or some shit. There's a lot of different far-right groups, that are out there doing their thing. And at the same time, there's also, like, different leftists out there as well. Because, at the same time, a lot of leftists recognize that, a regime under Russia would not necessarily be better, but in a lot of ways even worse. Because at least Ukraine ostensibly has some form of at least did have some form of democracy prior to this type of shit. But, as weak and fiddle as it kind of was. Goofy baby. What are you looking at? Goofball dog. My American already gotta vote harder. Oh yeah, because that's gonna help. Yeah, vote harder for who? Outside of local and state and shit, there's not really much to vote for. Cash the grease trap situation. Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's all they did. They're doing a public episode grease traps for, or at least releasing some grease traps to the public today and on Thursday. So, I mean, but I did see their private one just because of that. So I was thinking like, oh, I'll catch up on a public episode. I'm like, oh wait, it's a Grease Trap I already saw like a week ago. Never mind, I'll just catch up to the actual Grease Trap. Then I saw that it was like an hour 45 minutes. I was like, oh yes. I only had an hour to listen to initially, but then on my lunchtime I listened to the rest of it, and I was just like, nice. Oh, juicy. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot what the first chunk of it was, but I know kind of the latter half was kind of about like, you know, good old political stuff, and it's like, yes. I love it when the boys talk politics and shit on the Grease Trap. Manatee segment was surprising. I know, honestly, it's kind of funny how they're starting to talk about the Manatee more and more. I noticed that the Manatee has slipped into their content more than usual. And I think it's not, you know, coincidence. I wonder, you know, if there's enough pressure from the community, if, at least especially to the OGs, that, you know, be like, hey, we want a Manatee episode. Because they did do that Manatee Troll episode way long time back, which is honestly still one of my favorite episodes, because the thumbnail made it look so like it was going to be about the Manatee himself. But no, the entire time they fucked on everybody. It's like, what? This is just about casual manatees. I don't know what people are talking about. And it's just like, it literally was. Honestly, I kind of hope they do, but, I mean, in a way, I saw TJ say he was considering doing a reunion special of DP at some point recently. Oh, really? Huh. Because I know, outside of creative differences, I know there was, like, a lot of, you know, tension between, like, Ben and the rest of the guys, you know, to a certain extent. So, I mean, like, in a sense, like, I, you know, kind of thought, you know, while there wasn't, like, outright bad blood, it was kind of, you know, somewhat sour. You know, so, I kind of figured that wouldn't be the case, but, honestly, I wouldn't, like, you know, discourage it. I definitely welcome it. He kept it real vague, so not sure. Well, I mean, again, I wouldn't necessarily, you know, not welcome it. I honestly kind of would. All they do is cover trolls and idiots. Well, yeah, because honestly, DP is just kind of like a reaction channel. Like a reaction podcast, basically. They just kind of react to trolls, idiots, and sometimes the news. Like, I'll only watch them for, you know, for certain guests that they'll have occasionally. Like, they'll have, like, Mike Figueredo and a few other people like that on there. And, you know, and I'll, you know, listen to, like, half of it. But once they start getting into, you know, like, crazy people and shit, I just kind of zone out and tune out and find something else usually later down the line. And also, like, they just really devolve way too much into random jokes and shit. It's like, you gotta, like, at least build up a little more commentary to what the fuck is actually, like, going on there. Instead of just, like, you know, endless jokes on it. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I mean, they definitely have in a lot of ways. I mean, honestly, like, I'm trying to think really realistically the last time I actually have watched DP, and honestly, it's probably been like months since I see the rest of them branch off what they were doing in those days. Yeah. Trumpster Bob is hilarious. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've seen some stuff about Trumpster Bob, and that guy's pretty funny. I mean, that's why I kind of, you know, think, at least when it comes to some MAGA chud QAnon types, I don't think all of them are, like, fucking batshit, like, you know, are willing to, you know, go out there and beat you with a bat and fucking hope, you know, to line you up against a wall type of motherfucker. You know, I think there is legit just a large portion of them that are just old, naive, harmless, fucking quirky quack jobs and shit that realistically couldn't even hurt a fly. You know what I mean? And Trumpster Bob just kind of looks like one of those dudes, you know what I mean? You know, so it's like, and I just know too many, like Trumpy types that are just like that, you know? It's like you realistically couldn't fucking, you know, like these people couldn't hurt a fly. Bob will just call you a cunt and run away, Lamau. Yeah, see, like, how's that, like, I mean, what harm could he do to you? You know what I mean? He's like, oh, you're a cunt, and runs off. Like, oh, wow, I'm so hurt. I'm so hurt by your MAGA chud fucking Giga Chad energy, bro. I mean, you get those type of people, and then, you know, at the same time, you know, you're also gonna get the fucking Proud Boy types, like, that try to incite a riot at that Idaho Pride, you know? You're gonna get those types. You know, where, I mean, luckily they were all arrested and fucking, you know, looking like a bunch of sad little NPC losers because they all were wearing the identical goddamn shirts and pants and everything. I mean, so it's just like, honestly, I mean, they come in, it's a spectral thing with those weirdos, but, you know, I don't know which one's more dominant. I mean, but either way, ideologically, it's all poison, so it doesn't really matter to me. Should watch tonight's Trumpster Bob segment. He said he liked school shirt from Uvalde because he thought the kids were communists and served a oh my god, dude. What the fuck? I mean, I don't even know. Like, I would have to probably get a little bit more drinky with that one. He was endorsing and saying that most were done to kill communist children. Okay, how's that person not in an insane asylum? And sometimes he's toxic as hell. Well, you can be toxic as hell and still be harmless. I mean, while your ideas you're espousing and advocating are harmful, like you yourself can be harmless because you're just, you know, like, I mean, what truly are you as a person going to do outside of just advocate harmful, toxic, garbage bullshit? I mean, when I'm saying, like, harmless, I mean, like, you know, if they actually went out and did something, like, realistically, they're not actually gonna hurt anybody, like, they probably couldn't. I mean, it's like, I mean, they can still be harmful in what they say, and obviously saying shit like that is not just harmful, but fucking, like, I mean, I would probably say, like, you know, not just an incitement of violence, but also kind of borderline terroristic-y. I mean, I don't see him doing that, but, you know, going out of his way and doing that shit. And even if he tried, he wouldn't even get an injured person, let alone a kill. He'd probably injure himself, you know, just trying to get up the stairs to a school. Let's get past stupid Depp trial shit, and that was the first thing after that. It's pretty insane. Oh my god, I can't believe people are still talking about that goddamn Depp Heard trial garbage. You know what? Said it was tonight, right? Yeah, okay, it looks like 2 hours ago. I'll let the song play out first. The real change, the number, with the bombs and make us strong. We deserve to the God to defeat ourselves. We deserve to do one to serve the world. We all need to go to long as a young. You want to do the suck your thumb. This is such a ability. So you chicken out and ask me. Say you love it or leave it. Not good up and to criticize it. You say fight to defend, it's a useless flag. You want a banana republic that bad? Why don't you go move to one? Also shows bow on duck to Joe, and Joe showed Bob his boho a few months back. Oh my god, what the fuck? Continuing sales first from the inside out. We start by designing much of treating other people like shit. Much enough to raise the eyes of others we can stand. You get the monkey off your back. It's up there, bro. It somehow got stuck between my jacket. I heard Bob wanted to see Ben's duck, but Ben didn't swing that way. That was dick. Well, yeah, Ben don't swing that way. You know he's short as fuck? Back when Jimmy Dore wasn't cringe as fuck. I mean, like, honestly, the size difference, I mean, no pun intended, between Billy and Ben is insane. So if I'm about 6'2", so if I'm standing up, Ben's probably unironically about around here, give or take. And fucking Billy the Fridge, he's about, like, straight up, like, a fucking foot taller than me, dude. Like, Billy's not, especially these days, not so much in, like, size, but just in height, he is fucking huge, dude. It's just like, I mean, I was actually kind of taken aback when I actually saw him that night. I was like, whoa, dude, he's fucking tall. Because I honestly thought he was more about, like, my size. You meet them at a meetup before. At Jimmy Dore in February in 2019. Somewhere around there. It was before Jimmy Dore ended up being kind of cringe. Actually, funny enough, here, hold on. I actually, here, I have some pictures of it. I got the pics. Got the pics, gotta go find those pics. Where's the pics? Where are they? Where are they? Those are my Yellowstone pics. They're actually after that. Yeah, here we go. Oh, yeah, here we go. Here, okay. Ah! Well, I didn't mean to do that. Oops, fuck. Okay, hold on. Hold up. There we go. Okay. So, there's me just kind of chilling. But if you kind of see, there's Billy, and there's Ben over there, and actually that's Jeff Holiday right there as well. Another little random little pic, but yeah, this is back before Dore ended up being kind of shitty, unfortunately. Because he was actually pretty legit back in the day, especially seeing him live. He was actually really good. Guess what? I also got pictures of him too. This actually, I think these two are probably the best ones I got of him though. Though I wish, unfortunately he didn't, become kind of the weird, grifty weirdo that he is now, because honestly, he was cool back in the day, man. He was actually legit. I never see a picture of Ben and Billy standing together, but I remember pictures from back in the day, and Paul TJ sitting next to Ben, he was short as fuck. Yeah, he is legit short as fuck. At least Jimmy Dore is, like, just under my height. Like, he's, just, like, a couple inches taller. Or smaller. Man, it's just like, poor Jimmy. Bubble. Here, where that? No, here's that thing. Here, let me see if I can find a timestamp if there is any. Is there any? Timestamps. There's only 2 comments on here, so that no one. Wow. I mean, so no one comments shit. Okay. Well, fuck the goddamn trial garbage fucking shit. There's some rogue joking shit fuckery. What? Oh my god. You just couldn't resist the right-wing grift money. Yep. Basically. Oh my god, what the fuck is going on here?
Hey, so then I went to Princeton.
I couldn't handle Princeton because they hazed me too hard.
What is, like, his background? He has, like, a fucking lei that's all, like, in a flower shape. He's got, like, a Hot Wheels, some hats, and a shirt of a lady, I'm assuming, who's a tennis sport player, I'm assuming? She looks familiar.
Fuck with him, big thing. I think some of these school mass shootings and murders that are happening, I bet you some of them are a good thing.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know what I'm...
Wow. Well, no, they're not. the fact that, like, anyone frankly endorses a fucking mass shooting period, let alone a school one, I mean, it's just like, okay, buddy. I mean, I like, honestly, I mean, really, I mean, frankly, when it comes to that idea, like, I mean, there's probably some unsafe for YouTube things that could be said. But because this guy, it looks like is he still in well, I guess he's in the hospital. I'm assuming he looks like he's still in the hospital. It's like, frankly, I mean, you don't really need to do that. I mean, he's already kind of suffering as it is. Just make him have medical debt, I guess. I don't know. He's already going to have that, too. So, you know what? He's already suffering. Thanks, mass shootings are part of the price of, quote, freedom. See, that person deserves the unsafe for YouTube shit because I know that person isn't Trumpster Bob. And frankly, from what you tell me about him, he's somebody that, you know, could probably be the equivalent of a Proud Boy type if he got himself just a little bit more back in shape, probably. You know what I mean? So, I mean, and honestly, when you come up here and shit, and I'm sure you'll show me pictures of the guy, like, I mean, I'll probably confirm and be like, yeah, nah, this guy could be like a Proud Boy type, because honestly, you know, 50-50 shot, there's a guarantee that, like, you know, he would look like, you know, some random older age, you know, Proud Boy or Patriot Prayer fuck, you know, that I've seen before. Because a lot of them tend to either be, like, older or, like, young, big, like, bear types or something. Or just weird scrawny wannabes that are just kind of tagging along, like, I think you guys are cool, so I'm gonna, like, come around, too, and join you guys. You know, you get those little fucking dweebs, too. But for the most part, it tends to be, like, older, like, he thinks he's a cowboy. Oh my god. Dude, I guarantee you I could probably best him at any fucking, like, cowboy competition, and I haven't even been to one for fuck all. Haven't shot levers or single actions, but I bet I could fucking figure it out within, like, a minute and fucking, you know, lay him in the ground with that shit. Not literally him, but, you know, I can... Every time I've gone skeet shooting with even my family, who are all pretty good, decent shooters themselves, like, I fucking lay with the ground with them, bro. Like, I just kind of got, you know, my dad's, like, sharp shooting capabilities, I guess, because he was always, and there was always stories about him being a fucking good shot. So I just apparently have just, like, that natural, like, you know, just good sharpshooter talent, apparently. So, I don't know, but I'm okay with that. So, it's like, nah, I mean, if there's ever some random ass specific type of using an untrained shot, well, I'm not necessarily an untrained shot either. Not military trained, I will give him that. But we're talking like, you know, we're doing like some cowboy style fucking shooting and shit. Not just like, oh yeah, we're laying some rounds down range and shit. We're talking like, you know, fucking, you know, like got some single action, fucking, you know, like all this shit, taking it out of the holster, fucking lever action. Like, we're going old school, baby. Like, you know, get him out of that fucking military grade AR-15 lumber jumbo bullshit, and then, you know, get him into goddamn fucking, you know, some legit actual cowboy gear and equipment and weaponry, then, alright, we'll see. I mean, I don't know, like, it's like, man, when people are all macho and shit like that, it just makes me want to be like, oh, really? Fucking really? Because, like, literally about 60% of the time, when people are all about macho, like, how good of a shot they really are, chances are they actually aren't. But I've had, like, but at least I have, like, you know, a legit background of, like, yeah, I just do. Apparently, I have a pretty good shot. I mean, because every time I've gone shooting, you know, outside of, you know, my new gun, because I haven't sighted it yet or nothing yet, or anything like that, you know, I have been, you know, like, when it comes to the shotgun I own, and every time I've gone shooting with everyone else, it's always been the case. So, he does it, so, I don't know, it's just like, I mean, you can get the training shit, but it's like, I mean, when it comes down, you know, to actual, like, you know, being able to shoot and shit, it's a little different. But either way, it's just like, whatever. When you go to range, I bet you could beat me this only train on pistols. It's not that hard to fucking, you know, shoot shotguns and rifles anyway. I mean, that's really the thing. As long as you know what you're doing, it's not hard. And you don't really need to flex about it, because I never really do. I just, you know, I mentioned stories about, you know, whenever it happens to be a topic, but outside of that, Like, it's not something you gotta be like, oh yeah, I'm like one of the best shots out of everybody I know. And it's like, okay. I guess I'm being funny enough, kind of a little bit hypocritical, because I am kind of a little bit, but that's because, I mean, it's just because, I mean, how you describe your stepdad, it makes me, like, think he's just, you know, kind of a wannabe, like, you know, gumbro a little bit. It's like, oh my god. They make me want to kind of, like, you know, try to outflex him a little bit, because, like, do you really know your shit, or do you know your shit with your own guns, and that's it? Try to scare me a little bit, to be honest. It kicked me once in the face when I first started learning. Oh my lord. I mean, hey, I mean, it's just like, honestly, my shotgun don't got much recoil to it. I mean, it packs a little bit, but I mean, if you got like target loads in there where it has like a little like clay shots inside, I mean, you're gonna be fine. And honestly, with my current shotgun, at least with the gas piston that I have in it, like target loads are pretty much all it could really handle. So, outside of birdshot, but if I want something heavier, I have to get a heavy load gas piston, which I need to order. My shotgun has hella kick for a single shot 20 gauge. Well, it's a single shot. It's a breech loader, I'm assuming. That's why. Mine's a semi-auto gas with the bolt fed with the recoil of the gas being blown back on it. So, like, a lot of the recoil gets absorbed into the bolt pulling back and going forward, and also chambering the round as well into that chamber for the bolt. So a lot of the gas gets absorbed into, like, I actually kind of like semi-auto shotguns because of this in a lot of ways, because they usually are designed in this type of mechanism where the gas from the shot feeds a lot of the mechanism. So a lot of the recoil is absorbed into that, and the rest of it, you know, goes into the stock where it's a little bit more softer instead of it all just going glomp, and it's more like a boom, you know. So it makes it a little bit more softer. It's still a kick. I mean, it'll still get you a little bit. You still gotta have to hold it nice and firm a little bit, but it's still not as, you know, heavy as versus like pump actions or single breech loaders or double barrels. Because all the gas and all the recoil from that and all the pressure is just going straight back, you know. But at least if, you know, the gas-fed type of single or semi-autos, those, a lot of it gets kind of fed into into that chambering mechanism before it gets fed all the way back into you. So, I mean, it's a little better for that. 12 gauges are a bit of a kick, but after the first shot, you'll learn how it feels and get a hold of it right. Yeah, exactly. And I've shot 12 gauge shotguns and pretty much all the time at this point, especially because I own one. But I mean, even before that, like, I mean, if I ever shot, you know, if there's ever a time that I've personally shot a shotgun, I mean, there's only one time I've ever shot a 20 gauge, and they're definitely a lot lighter of a kick, but I mean, outside of that one time, I've always shot 12 gauges. And honestly, it's just like I've always heard how they kick a lot, but at least in my experience, they don't really kick that much. My, he's not actually my uncle, but I just call him my uncle, but my uncle in Texas, he actually has a vintage 12 gauge pump action that his dad passed down to him, and that has some kick to it, but it's more of an older firearm, so it's more designed, you know, more ruggedly in that sense, but it's a really nice gun. Really beautifully made. Almost a little bit. Just a little bit. Look at you. Honestly, if I didn't have both of them in my room right now, I'd actually kind of show what I want to do for my next pair of upgrades for my new one that I have. And for the shotgun too a little bit, because I still want to get some upgrades on my shotgun where I want to have the wooden stock, but the front foregrip still polyester. So I want to kind of keep the foregrip as is, but I want to try to find a wooden buttstock for it. And that's actually not really that hard. I have been able to find some spots, but they're just like either between like 70 to 100 a pop, and it's like, fuck. I mean, it's like I gotta kind of save a little bit for that. And then for my Vishka that I have for my AK, that I want to get an optic and then a new muzzle brake for it. And then after that, I want to start upgrading the furniture on it as well. And then maybe get a trigger upgrade too. But I want to learn how to change the trigger and stuff like that before I really fuck around with it. I think for small people, I might have a bigger kick, but I'm like 6'2" and work out, so it's not the same as me. But for someone that's like 5'8", 150 pounds, yeah, I'd be a little different. My stepdad has a double barrel caravan shotgun engraved and shit. It's really nice. Oh, man. I mean, the way you're describing it sounds pretty. Is it a top and bottom barrel type, or is it a side by side? Because honestly, whenever it comes to barrels that are on top of each other, I don't know what it is, but those type of double barrels, I love those a little bit more. Not as common of a design. I think that's why. I'm wondering, I don't know if we need Trumpster Bob just kind of sitting there with my weird little YouTube things there. Side by side, sadly. Aw. I mean, that's not necessarily sad. I mean, I just think that, at least when it comes to, like, double barrels, I mean, when the barrels are on top of each other, I mean, I just think that's a little bit more cooler just because it's more of a rare design. You don't really see it that often. Actually, at Sportsman's, where I got my gun, they actually do have a few double barrels that are like that. And it's just like, oh... If they have a rifle version, like, I actually might get one of those. Like, if they have one that's in, like, 7.62 by 51 or something like that. 30-6 or something. It's just like, ooh, I might. Because I'm a sucker for, like, double barrels that are top-down, lever actions, revolvers, AKs. Like, I'm a sucker for certain type of gun styles and gun platforms. And just like certain specific like historical guns and shit. Like the STG-44, the Mosin. Oh my god, I want a Mosin so bad. The what else? Like legit old classic like Winchester rifles and shit. Gavera 98s, like straight pullback bolt action rifles, Krag Jorgensen, the MP40. The MP38 and the 18, and then the Mauser C97, I believe it is, where it has like the bolt kind of all the way back here a little bit. It's kind of a funky looking gun. I'm pretty sure it's called the, oh no, it's the C92. That's what it's called. And which one of us could have gotten that Naval Commander Luger? Dude, if I have fuck you money, dude, I would have gotten that Naval Commander Luger. Like, straight up. That we found on Gunbroker that one stream. Oh my god, I would... I mean, because I'm just kind of a sucker for historical memorabilia like that. Or like a World War I artillery Luger. Oh, dude, that would be fucking... I mean, there's just like a lot... Like, I mean, there's just like a lot of different shit. He said Luger's side piece, honestly. I mean, I'd just be careful where you flex that, because, you know, I mean, you know, some people might think you're actually, like, you know, what are you, some Nazi flexing that? It's like, no, I just like this nice piece. It's a fucking Luger. And it looks fucking dope. I mean, honestly, like, the actual, like, designs and engravings on it were actually pretty beautiful, though. I mean, the only thing that was actually Nazi about it, really, was, the side fucking, I mean, what? I'm trying to, like, figure out what they're called. I'm forgetting the name. Like, the little, like, pistol grip plates, like the grip plates. Because the center of them have that, like, you know, swastika with the eagle and shit. But outside of that, like, I mean, the gun itself was just an engraved Luger. That was just really, really beautifully engraved. Like, had legit craftsmanship to it. I'd fire it once and then use it as a paper ornament. Oh, okay. I mean, side piece would be like, yeah, I use that side piece on my hip. I mean, yeah, I'd fire it maybe like 2 times ever. You know, maybe once for myself, and then maybe like 1 time on the range with my friends, so they can shoot it a little bit. But outside of that, I will never shoot it again. If my friends would be like, can we shoot again? I'd be like, no, that was the one time you got to shot it. You can look at it and you can hold it, but you don't get to shoot it. So I don't want to like, you know, wear it down at all. Because if something breaks, then I have to replace it. Then like the value of that thing just drops, and I don't want that. Ooh. Went for 25K. I mean, yeah, I mean, honestly, that kind of makes sense, though. For a rare piece like that, on top of, it basically, you know, just, that's a house down payment. I mean, yeah, seriously, dude. Dude, what if there's, like, some fucking, like, boomer out there, like, some weird-ass boomer who, like, found out that their kid was gay or some shit, who's about to go to college. It was like, you know what, this is going to be some of their house payment and college fund, but you know what, fuck it, I'm going to get this to show them, you know, fuck you. This is what they get, that goddamn queer-ass fucking communist. I did not raise this child to be that way. So this is their punishment. Like, dude, straight up. Let me kill Mr. Got arrested for having Nazi memorabilia because he collected World War II shit. Yeah, like, he actually had, like, a full-on closet, which, yeah, did have a lot of Nazi memorabilia, but had a lot of other World War II shit, too. I mean, it's like, I mean, I'm not that much different. Like, I don't have, you know, like, I don't outright have, you know, Nazi shit out, you know, when it comes to memorabilia, but I have East German stuff. I mean, the jacket I'm wearing right now is a, East German jacket. It's a, Kampfgruppen of the Arbeiterklasse, the combat groups of the working class jacket. It's like a, it's like basically a state militia. So, and, they had like their own ranks and shit outside of the, General National Volksarmee and, the General, East German, military. But, which I also have some, East German military uniforms and medals and shit like that myself. And it's just like, I mean, it's just like, essentially I'm one time period off, you know, but honestly, a lot of the uniforms and shit like that look pretty much the same. I mean, in a lot of ways. Hold on, I have pictures of all this shit. I actually have a whole folder full of this stuff. Here we go. Here. So here's like, you know, like, I mean, here's like an actual OG picture of, you know, some, you know, like East German National Volksarmee. I think this is the Friedrich Engels Guard Regiment. You know, here's like some field uniforms with their KMS 72s, which are essentially just East German AK-47s. Ooh, they got RPK. Nice, I didn't even notice that. But here's my shit. So, you know, got the helmet and stuff, which I have over here as well for the helmet. Also got the cap too as well. And here's the full dress uniform too, which it took a while to collect over time. Unfortunately, Nazi uniforms still look fucking cool. And fun fact about East German uniforms is notice how they do look a little very reminiscent to to just World War II style German uniforms. The reason why is because they're based off of Prussian style uniforms. Because Hugo Boss and a lot of the you know, a lot of what he based you know, a lot of the like uniforms at the time were based off a lot of Prussian style uniforms and shit. Like if you look at the modern Chilean and Swedish military, some of their dress uniforms share similar things. Like you'll notice they'll have like things like Pilkelhalbas and things like that. And East Germany wasn't no different. It was kind of a way to show that there was still like a lot of German culture within their country while still being a very communist, you know, country and shit. There was like, you know, there were some various different reasons to it, and also it was also a way to not necessarily mass produce a bunch of uniforms you know, without necessarily changing much. You know, the only thing they really had to change at that point were things like belt buckles and shit like that, because, you know, outside of that, you know, they didn't really have to change anything about the uniforms. So, here's kind of a little closer look at some of the different, medals they have. So, like the medal right here is like a 5-year service medal, and these are Materius service badges, and this is like, like a Brotherhood, like to the NVA type of badge and shit. And this is kind of a more casual look, these were during my college years, so sometimes when I go to college, I straight up would be flexing, some drip like this. I get a lot of compliments too, so, honestly, I did, go full on dripping. Oh, and this is actually pretty cool, but this is a 1964 Olympic lapel that I was able to find for pretty cheap. So this is an original type of piece that was used because the lapel itself was a little rusted. So I don't know, who, but somebody was wearing that back in the day. But I still have it on the uniform. I haven't taken it off it because I want to keep it there, just for safekeeping and stuff. But it's still pretty nice condition though. But, just, it kind of showing, some other different little bits of the memorabilia and stuff like that, that I have. And, some other stuff. This is a different jacket that I had at the time as well. Another, form of the casual wear, of it, wearing that too. It's, this one was full on wool, so it actually was pretty nice and warm when, flexing it out. Kind of a little wall I set up for all the badges, which actually I don't have it set up there anymore. I just kind of have it stored somewhere else now. But yeah, but at least, just some different things that I've collected over the years, when it comes to at least the East German type of stuff, which I have a lot more of too. These are just, some of the different pictures I got of some different shit. But over time, get more. I want to get the East German folding stock because I have found that, and I want to put that on my firearm. That's actually one thing I want to upgrade. Because the East German AKs, they use the stamped variant of the AK, which is the Russian version of it, like the more original type of version. So, or at least the original production that was used before the milled versions. So, it's something that, my AK at least, could be compatible with. So I'm just like, ooh, giggity. So I want to get an actual East German folding stock on there, and I want to get some Russian Zeniko parts on there. I want to get like a modern Zeniko dust cover and a modern Zeniko lower on it. And then I got a optic I want to put on there because at least in the meantime I have a rear sight Picatinny rail on there. Actually, I have a picture of that too. I have pictures of pretty much all these things I'm talking about right now, so it's actually nice and convenient. Just because I don't have it accessible right now, but I got this bad boy on there right now that I upgraded. I need to sight it still. It's a little off center. Actually, this will kind of show a little bit. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's off center just like, just ever so slightly. So, it needs a little bit of tweaking around a little bit, but, it's at least going to be nice, once I get an actual optic on there. So that's because I want to at least put one on there, but I want to get a Picatinny rail dust cover, which Zeniko has, but because of, a war that we were talking about earlier, I can't exactly get those for cheap. Those are fucking expensive as balls right now. They're honestly just as, if not, sometimes even more expensive than my actual fucking gun. It's like, nope, I'm not paying that much. No way in hell. No way, Jose. I'll pay like 300 max, for like, what I want, like all together, not just for one part, just all together, so, no way in hell. I know, at least the East German folding stock I was looking at is like $280 because it comes to fold like the original little parts to set it up, like the original trunnion pieces and things like that. So I want to at least get that, just in case, there's a little bit of like tweaking around the edges I can use, because then I can at least have some parts to work with to do that. Which hopefully doesn't need to be the case. So, because, ARs and AK style platforms are pretty easy to work with. Economy tick when I'm ready to leave Bama. Just like a simple, basic, little ticket. I mean, hey, either way. Be nice to actually finally get away from that shithole, dude. First class streaming expensive while econ's half the price. Ooh. I mean, nice, it would be pretty dope to, flex out some drip and go first class and just be like, you know what, fuck y'all, first class and this bitch out of here. I mean, that'd actually be pretty, that'd be like, flex move right there. That'd be some pro gamer shit. So that's why once I get, some of my financial shit sorted out here in the next week or two, I dead ass wouldn't mind pitching in a little bit for that. At least, just to get you on at least the first class tick, you know what I mean? Just get out there with a little bit of a flex. Get out, like, some of your nice dress and shit, nice attire, and just, fuck out of there with some style, dude. Shit, if I lived in Alabama, I'd get out as fast as fucking possible. I mean, honestly, me and Venom have been talking about this recently, because he's committing to moving up here. And if that's the case, chances are he'll be living with me. At least for, temporary time here and shit like that, depending on what my friends do within, like, the next year or two. Because if they want to move into a place, I see if they, would be down with me and him or him to, join in on that type of thing. Because I currently have a roommate right now, and he'll, still be sticking around even when he gets here. Chances. And somewhere in northern U.S., Pacific Northwest, yeah, in the PNW. And I actually don't know if you're in TJ's Discord that he set up, but every now and then I'll chat up some stuff in there. But lately I've been chatting in the general chat and like in the news section and stuff like that about some of the labor efforts that have been going on around here. Which actually I do have a little bit of an update about that, but I'll get to that in a sec. But at least, like I was saying, chances my current roommate will still be here when Venom gets up here. And, which, that's not going to be an issue. I have enough space, but right now, I don't. But, me and my roommate were talking earlier about, game plan, about how to, create more space to get things set up and shit. Because, yeah, my idea is that once Venom gets up here, he'll just, chill and crash where my current roommate's at, and my roommate will take my deceased uncle's hold room that he has that we still need to kind of clean out and figure out and shit. Because, I mean, I actually need my mom for that, to pick up certain sentimentals and shit like that. See if there's important info. Just don't put me in the tool shed. There is no way I'm doing that, bro. Honestly, like, I literally, like, when I mentioned that, I literally broke, like, that one stream when I mentioned it, I broke it down in my mind, like, immediately after and realized where the fuck is everything in that shit gonna go. Fuck that. I don't want to hear my dad cry about that. No, bad idea. No. Like, I immediately just, like, stopped that while I was, ahead of that. The only reason why I even thought about it is because my friend Harley keeps mentioning it, and it's like, dude, do you really, like, no, bro. Like, and honestly, just because you think it's a good idea don't mean that everyone else thinks it is. It's like, I mean, I would say that the room that is right here, like, this room that, I have a bunch of random shit set up and stuff, like, this is indeed a room. Like, I mean, I'd sooner put you in there, but fucking it smells whack as fuck because my dad smokes in there. So it's just like, I don't want to put you in there or make you slowly die of secondhand smoke exposure. So it's just like, fuck that too. Because, I mean, if that was cleaned out, I mean, it wouldn't be bad to chill in. I mean, small, but at least it'd be alright. But, I mean, because it has a fan and it also has light in there. And I mean, it doesn't have soundproofing, so if there's anything going on in there, everybody will hear it. I don't mind cigarette smoke. My dad smoked all my life. I don't either, but still, it's just like, I don't want to put you for that grossness. Like, it straight smells fucking rank in there, dude. I'm not even kidding, dude. It's bad. Like, it smells horrible with that smoke. Because he literally whenever he comes in here to smoke cigs, that's where he sits. Like, he'll sit in there. And it's just like, I mean, like, he can easily just set up a spot over here sit over here. Like, I mean, honestly, it's like, I mean, whenever he smokes out here, I'm a little like, yo, why don't you just sit out here? Because honestly, half the time, like, I mean, he could just sit here and bullshit with me or something. You know what I mean? Like, cause I mean, I don't necessarily mind him chatting or whatever the fuck. But, or, you know, be, you know, whatever, but don't be in the background just making random commentary. Come over here and, like, chat it up or whatever, because then it'll at least be a little more interesting, in my mind, at least. Because there will be some times him and I will go into fucking, you know, some back and forths and some conversations and some debates and stuff, and they could get heated. So it's honestly why I, you know, it's like, next time he comes in here, I'm going to say that. Just straight up. Like, I mean, where my base was just sitting, like, where I was, you know, showing, like, there's a chair right there. Like, you could literally just sit right there. Just move the base. Move the base and put it in its proper place. Just smoke hookah? No, just straight up Marlboros. Marlboro 100s, I think. 100 blacks. Or I think they're Marlboro Reds or something. I don't fucking know. I think he used to do Marlboro Reds, and now he does, like, Marlboro 100s. But, yeah, he's a Marlboro dude. And yes, he does weed, but not a lot. That's, I mean, he used to, but not so much these days. And frankly, it's just like, I mean, nowadays, he is cutting back on smoking, because he used to come in here all the fucking time smoking and shit, but he doesn't really do that as much anymore. Which is good. That's what my grandmother smoked. Ugh. I mean, honestly, like, I mean, at least when it comes to, like, weed and tobacco mixing, because I've done that in the past and shit a lot. And, I mean, every now and then I still will. But, like, when it comes down to it, dude, oh, man. Like, Marlboros, Camels, things like that are just fucking... bleh. I mean, it's like, honestly, if I was gonna smoke cigs, I would literally do nothing but American Spirits, honestly. Because I've, at least up here in the PNW, we call it mooking, where you, you know, mix weed and tobacco. It's where you load in a mook bowl. And I think in the South, at least mainly in Texas, they call them snappers. But, I mean, it's not, I guess lingo isn't necessarily that important, but at least just for the mook part, you know, just kind of shorten it. But, like, when doing mooks and stuff, I mean, it, you know, it's just like, my friend would always get American Spirits primarily, and, whenever, you know, because he, you know, because honestly, there was, I guess it's, I mean, it doesn't really mean that much, but there is, like, less chemicals and less preservatives and garbage and shit. That's why American Spirits are just more expensive, because at least it is a little bit more of a natural type of, you know, tobacco, I guess. I mean, it's not like, you know, what the indigenous Americans, you know, were actually smoking and shit when it came to their tobacco, because that shit was just, you know, harvested up in the wild, you know what I mean? So it's not like this GMO'd agricultural fucking shit that we got now. Called chops in Cali. Chops? Man, like, the lingo for different things, you know, is very massive when I think about it. Because I've always, you know, seen people be like, what's a mook? And I'm like, oh, it's when you mix tobacco weed. It's like, oh, it's called, oh, up here we call it this. I've only ever remembered snappers, mooks, and now chops. I think there was, like, one other term, but what was it called? I think it was, man, okay, now I'm blanking, honestly. Yeah, I mean, alright, so it's mainly only the other two that I knew. Oh, I think there were, it's a longer version, oh, snapbacks, I think. Mixing tobacco and weed spliffs. Well, that's in, like, you know, smoke form. So if you have, like, a blunt and you mix some tobacco and weed in a blunt, you know, like with a cigar wrap or some shit, that's, I think, what, like, definitionally, like, technically is what a spliff is. But basically, like, if you mix, like, weed and tobacco in a joint or a blunt or something like that, like, that's a spliff, essentially. Or just putting weed in, like, a tobacco wrap, you know. So there's you know, it's a little lucid, but that's essentially, you know, same thing. There's also spliffs, but, you know, snapback spliffs, snaps, or snappers, chops, I guess. Yeah, and a new one I learned there, and then mooks. So, I'm sure there's different terminology. Like, if I went up in the Northeast and New England area, and fucking, like, you know, in the Midwest, and, you know, and everywhere else in between, you know, they'd all have different lingo for it, too. It's honestly worse for you than smoking just one or the other, though. I will admit, because you're not just getting like the tar and carcinogens and CO2 of just one plant. You're getting both. So, I mean, honestly, it's not exactly the best, but I mean, the high that you get out of it, especially the more immediate one, is definitely something. Because like both of your receptors, your cannabinol and like nicotine receptors are being activated at once, and that causes your brain to be like, whoa, hold up, and you kind of get like a numb, tingly sensation, and obviously your brain is not getting that much oxygen like whatsoever during that process, so you kind of have this feeling of almost, not outright, but like almost blacking out, where you're like, whoa, you know, just like, it's why, at least for a while, I did it all the time and shit, because, I mean, it was always, you know, that type of feeling and shit. But, of course, over time, got a tolerance to it, or I guess in this case, you know, nicotine tolerance probably primarily, and I was like, okay, this actually kind of sucks, and, you know, I've been at least trying to, you know, cut back and don't do it as often anymore, at least. It's more like, you know, I'll do it like a couple, you know, maybe like a couple times a day, usually mostly during, like, my work breaks and shit, just to chill out from, you know, work stress and hell. And I might, you know, legit do it a couple times, you know, like in the beginning, you know, of streams occasionally, you know, just to kind of like, you know, just because, again, work. I mean, like, legit, that would be pretty much the main reasons, you know, for it, at least, you know, these days. But at this point, you know, it's been more of a thing that hasn't been as much. But I will say it does fluctuate depending on really how bad work is. If work's actually kind of chill, then, you know, like the tobacco weed mixing isn't really a big thing. But if it's like stressful as fuck and I'm like, oh my god, I want to go joke around everybody, I want to Roblox myself, like, oh my god, it's hell, boo, then yeah, I'll definitely, you know, kind of do that to chill a little bit. But definitely something I want to, like, again, you know, like I was saying, you know, cut back away from, because it's, you know, like I said, not exactly good. Smoke pan every day, yes. And just the pan. You have to just be pansexual. It can't be like, you know, mook sexual, okay? What's this YouTube short you're sending me, I think?
And welcome back.
Surviving Ben Shapiro video guide. You should have sent this to Deep Fat Fried before they did their Ben Shapiro gauntlet. Like, seriously.
Series on how to defend yourself from Ben Shapiro.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Hold on, I'm trying to... There we go. Oh, you can keep playing there, Mr. Colorful Shirt Man.
Trash can is Ben Shapiro. If you're approached by Ben Shapiro, tell him that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has a crush on him. This will cause him to blush so hard that all the blood rushes to his cheeks and he passes out. Get on the nearest roller coaster. Ben Shapiro's too short to go on the roller coaster. Ask him whether he thinks Muslims should have abortions. His fervent hatred of Muslims will clash with his fervent hatred of abortion rights. Explode.
That'll explode.
Get your hands on an anti-Semite's boot. They're not hard to find in conservative circles. Ben Shapiro will lick the boot so hard that he doesn't have time to talk. Refer to him as Ben
Well,
Shapiro,
honestly, in a way, he kind of is himself.
sister's brother. I don't have a good reason for this one, I just think it's funny.
I just think it's funny. Damn, I love it. Alright. Every now and then there's a good YouTube short. Oh my god, the like button is literally out of reach. Like, it literally, the screen will not even process it. I want to like it. The dislike button's the only thing I could click. Fuck. Boo. Fuck that. I want to actually, I unironically want to like this. Can I like this, please?
And welcome
Oh my god, it's sideways, but I was able to like it. Okay. Jesus Christ. Well, at least it, you know, it played at least like a square of it. That was good at least. Well, okay, we don't need that. Alright, there we go. Boom. I mean, but honestly, it's just like, I mean, like I was saying though, like, I mean, he kind of is himself because, frankly, like, a lot of these hyper-Zionistic fucking apartheid-endorsing, like, hyper-borderline, if not just outright fascistically Nazi fucks and shit, like, they basically are anti-Semitic if you think about it, because one, they're looking at one specific group of Semitic people that live in the region on top of themselves, you know, being like, oh, they're not like us, so they're not actually us when it comes to whatever, you know, their definition of Semite is. And on top of that, they also look at other Jews or other Semitic people and shit that don't happen to endorse their ideology as, you know, either traitors, you know, to their ideas or to their race or to their, you know, culture or whatever the fuck. And, you know, will throw the anti-Semite card at them and shit. So if anything, they're really more harmful to, you know, Jewish people and, like, Semitic people more so than they're defending them. Just because they, you know, do such fucking horrible, atrocious, really just outright fascistic acts and shit, especially on Palestinians. So it's just like, unless you don't fit into their proper mold, you're essentially either second class or barely even human to them. I mean, it's like if you happen to criticize them ever so slightly and you happen to be a politician or at least in some form of influential power, or at least some sort of influence, celebrity or otherwise, it's like there's a lot of backlash from a lot of people being like, what? Especially in a political form, because then a lot of political lobbying will be heavily funded against you, especially from groups like AIPAC and shit. So it's like, if anything, really at the end of the day, they're doing really more harm than good. I mean, it just kind of goes to show. Are they really actually, truly, you know, helping Semitic people, you know, in that way? Or are they just really benefiting their own fucking bloodthirsty, difficult cause? It's like, Time for me to sleep, let it go, comrades. You have a good night, my man. They'll definitely be chilled here for a good bit. It's the weekend for me, so I don't got a bedtime. Fuck bedtime, sleep's for the weak. But of course, everyone, you know, has to sleep at some point, though. Sleep does eventually catch up to you. Well, what the fuck was that? What the hell is that, Zukov? Oh, what is this? What are you doing? What are you doing? Here, I gotta, like, hide your peaches. You're I have to hide your peaches, because you're just like, here, let me present them. You just sprawl out like a ball. What is this? Your tail's just, like, all up in your face. Oh my god, you fucking little worm. What are you doing? Oh my god. What is that? What are you doing? What are you doing? You silly goofy baby. Oh. Oh. Yeah, you just showing off your cuteness and your sweetness. Oh, you sweet boy. Oh, what the fuck? Why? Why'd you get up? Either sleep or smoke crack a lot. Yeah, and I'd rather not smoke crack a lot. Baby, why'd you get up, boy? You were just so cute. You were just so cute. What the fuck? Why? You just stop being so fucking cute. You're too cute for your own good. This is unacceptable. Yes, bow your head in shame. Learn to be ugly every now and then, you little sweet, cute ball of adorableness. Learn to be ugly. Do I have to, like, shave you entirely for that to be the case? I'm not gonna do that to him. I wouldn't even really feel comfortable trimming him. Because I know, like, certain dog breeds actually do not like that. Or actually don't benefit from that at all. Like, some dogs, like husky breeds, actually, it's not good to trim them or shave them, really. Because it takes them a while to regrow all that. And especially with how they adapt, they're supposed to have all that. So, you know, it's not exactly, you know, good for some breeds. What if, and hear me out, he is actually cute enough for his own good? No, he's not. He's not cute enough for his own good. He's too cute for his own good, and it's unacceptable. because he's an awfully good boy. You want to see the annoyance that you want to see, like, the perspective that I have to deal with when it comes to this little son of a bitch. This is my perspective of when I have to deal with him. This is my lunch break. Look where that paw is. You see where this paw is? It's on my leg. You see this face? It says, I'm an asshole, and I own you, bitch, and I demand you pet me. It's just like, no. My brain says, do you mind, you little asshole? You're too cute for your own good. How dare you? But, I mean, you can't resist that adorable face, though. I mean, but that's why it's too cute for your own good. And why are you licking all up in your junk, you freak? What makes you think that's a good idea? Why? Okay, now what are you doing? What are you doing? Man, I don't even know. He's being a fucking weirdo. It's just being a goof. Yeah, I saw this, he was trying to pin you down so you didn't go back to work. Well, too bad, I had to. I just straight up had to go back to work. I can't help it. I mean, it's like, he knows the routine. Oh, here, actually, before we go into this one video I want to check out that was about to pop up, Mordax, I don't know if you've heard, but on the local news, there's been some information about going public about our wages not increasing and shit like that. And because our company's outright fucking just like, yeah, you know that new contract you all ratified for you all to get, you know, new wages and some better, you know, bennies and stuff like that. Yeah, fuck that. We're just not gonna implement that. Yeah. Well, you know, we had some delays and stuff. Oh, we had a technological glitch now. Oops, our bad, nah. You know, the price is going up for our groceries and stuff like that, where we could just kind of fuck over and scalp the consumer and price gouge people every day. Yeah, you know, our computer and our technical, you know, glitches happen to be all spick and span, and there ain't nothing wrong with all that. But we gotta make sure the wages happen to be increased for everybody. There happens to be a lot of problems with that. We just, it's like we have just like too many problems with that. There's a lot of glitches, some errors and stuff. I mean, we can't help that. But our union has filed a fucking grievance against it in a class action suit, and it could go to arbitration and go to court. Which by that point, I've heard rumor is that. You know, if that's the case, we would also, you know, we will go on strike if that ends up being a possibility. We just can't possibly help it. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. I was actually talking to a customer earlier because there's been even some customers asking us about it. It's like, has there been any updates on it and stuff like that? And I'm just like, I mean, I haven't heard too much outside of some, you know, rumor here and there. And hopefully a lot of it's true, because if that's the case, because honestly, me and a bunch of other people at this point, mostly in my department now, at least right now as it stands, are already basically considering, like, yeah, if we don't get our fucking wages straight, yeah, we're just gonna, I'm gonna walk out and shit. And by walk out, they just basically, you know, mean, like, we're gonna go on strike and shit. And I'm just like, fucking based. And then this is one of our new guys who works in the mornings was fucking, like, doing that shit. PBB just went speeding past me with no lights on. He was going like 10 miles over. Well, of course, because there's a bunch of fascists up there, so fuck the cops. I mean, at least, like, weirdly enough, the cops up here today were actually doing their job for once. Like, I was talking about it at the beginning of the stream, but there was, like, some tweaker who carjacked somebody's car, and that car has been stolen for, like, a month or something. And they were doing meth next to my co-worker's wife and her newborn baby and shit in that car next to their car. And a lot of that meth smoke happened to, like, trail into their vehicle and shit. So she was calling up about it, be like, yo, there's, like, some dude straight up tweaking, and, you know, and all this and that. And she was, you know, and I kind of agree with it, but and she was saying, too, it's like, look, I honestly don't care if the person was doing that and shit. It's just that the fact that, you know, it was affecting me and it was getting in all my shit. Because honestly, I kind of agree. It's like, if you're going to fucking, like, do some meth and do a deal and shit, just go into a part of the parking lot where nobody's fucking at or some shit. You know, because one, that was a little fucked, and two, you also carjacked, so, you know, and three, you're tweaking a little bit. And honestly, for me, it was mostly the etiquette and the carjacking that I had an issue with, you know, with the whole thing. And, you know, luckily, after a while, they found the dude because he dipped as soon as cops started showing up. And once he tried to leave out of the stolen car he had, he was caught pretty much immediately quick. Cypress Hill are hella stoners and fuck the police. He managed to get a bunch of fuck the police songs. Fuck yeah, dude. Dude, Cypress Hill is based. Cops down here are taking a stand, beating a black guy down. And are suspended without pay, of course. Off to Winco, be back in like 2 hours. Damn, 2 hours? Jesus. Where the fuck are you at? I don't even, like, I mean, well, who knows if I'll be going on for that long. And we drive Dollar Jones, but nowhere near Portland. They're all Dollar Tree up here. Yeah. Yeah, they're called Dollar Trees up here. I just dropped Harley off. Well, pay me a visit. Why don't you just chill over here, bitch? Pay me a visit, yo. You're in the area? But yeah, honestly, a part of me at this point, especially if we do go on strike, if they go to arbitration, like, I kind of welcome them stonewalling it now. Because honestly, I've been so badly wanting to kind of flex my, like, you know, striking picket line fucking shit, bro. Like, so bad. Because frankly, I've been having that itch for quite a while. And it'd be so nice to actually fucking do it, because, I mean, I'd definitely fucking get a lot of people wraparounds and shit. Like, I'd be making speeches, fucking, you know, doing some songs and shit. Dude, you fucking might. He's doing that thing that I was saying, picture. Yeah, that picture I just showed. He's doing it. He's doing it right now. You fucking asshole. Why are you doing this to me? I see that whole tail wagging. Do you mind? Do you mind, you little prick? Oh my god. I hate you. I hate you, but I love you. I love to hate you, you little son of a bitch. I bet it smells like Cypress Hill concert up there. They don't rent to people like that up here. Well, he also saw Slipknot as well. Cypress Hill was an opener. Bye-bye! Oh, the little bits! Little bits! Look at you. Your little bits. Oh, your little bitch. A little bit. Oh. Oh, that's a little bit. A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. 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 Do you mind, you little roughhousing son of a bitch? I was making a pot shot. Well, whatever. If it's so movies, Grandma's Boy. But I think for me, it's just Up in Smoke. Or maybe a Sausage Party or The Interview. One of those three. Or, oh fuck. I realized there's a list. The Green Misty Sky, because it's such a horrible animation, it's such a garbage fucking movie that when you're high as fuck, it's the greatest thing to laugh at. Fucking, I mean, honestly, they're not meant to be, but if you're stoned as fuck and watching The God's Not Dead, I guess instead of trilogy, and I guess now there's 4, so now it's like a fucking movie series. So, it's like, I mean, if you're stoned as fuck and are watching any of them, I mean, you can laugh of how absurd and garbage and distorted from actual reality these movies actually are. And frankly, honestly, like, the first movie offends me so fucking much, like, unironically. Because basically the premise of the movie is that at the end of the fucking movie, you get this atheist professor who's apparently all, like, demonized because he apparently has, like, a grudge against God because, you know, for some fucking reason or another. So he hates God, so he's not really an atheist, but he's an atheist because fuck God, basically. And, you know, like, the whole idea that, like, oh, atheists only are atheists because they have some grudge against God because they weren't there for them one time. It's like, oh my fucking God, eat a dick. Anyway, so it's just like the premise of the movie is that, like, there's, like, basically a court-based style, you know, political debate back and forth between the Christian student and the professor in their, like, philosophy class or whatever the fuck. And at the end of the movie, the fucking atheist professor literally gets ran over, and fucking the preacher in the movie runs up and basically converts him to Christianity while he's fucking dying. And basically, you know, like, once he's dead, it's just like God has, you know, been blessed with another soul or whatever the fuck. Basically blesses and rejoices in the fact that a dude literally died in a fucking random freak hit-and-run accident and converted the person to Christianity before they died. It's like, I mean, honestly, it's pissing me off thinking about it. It's just like, it's such a disgusting, fucking awful movie when you really, like, realize what the premise is. Oh my, ugh. Okay. I mean, it really does legitimately fucking offend me, dude. Oh my God, it is garbage. It is horrible. And especially, like, the last, like, 15 minutes where it froze that fucking thing that I was talking about and shit, with him dying. Like, it's, Don't forget who the atheist is. Hercules himself, Kevin Sorbo. Yep, Kevin Sorbo. Yep, the professor who's the atheist and shit is Kevin Sorbo himself. But frankly, he did, honestly, not a bad job playing the fucking professor. Like, honestly, like, he wasn't really that bad of an actor in the movie. But, oh my God, it's literally the last, like, 15 fucking minutes, because it also goes back and forth to, like, some fucking Christian rock concert. What offended me was the Muslim stereotype. I mean, oh, like, Ishaya, or Aisha, I mean, she herself didn't really offend me. It's what they did with her, where she had, like, her dad basically be like, "How dare you bitch be listening to Corinthians? You listen to the Bible, Romans," just starts beating her and shit. Like, I mean, fuck that, dude. That also was pretty fucking offensive now that you think about it. I mean, I guess what I just did was too. But, I mean, honestly, it's just like, but it's, I mean, it's basically what it was. Because he's like, you know, he's essentially basically, you know, like, oh, you know, they're like Christians, but even worse, but abusive. It's just like, it's like, I mean, this pretty much was what I saw out of it. It's like, oh, hey, look, here's, you know, someone actually enacting, you know, their religious beliefs, but are abusive. See? They're not like us, who are very empathetic. It's like, yeah, it's like, fucking eat a dick. I mean, the distortion of the fucking reality that they have in that film is just appalling. And again, like, really, it's one of the rare things that actually does fucking offend me out there. Like, I don't get offended by much, but that's one of the things that I really frankly fucking do. I wouldn't, like, you know, call for it to be banned or whatever the fuck. It can exist. But just imagine if there was a movie that was basically the same premise, but the opposite direction. Where the name of the movie is God is Dead. And essentially it was the same exact thing, but the opposite, you know, way. Where you have, like, some Christian professor and the atheist kid. The Christian professor gets ran over and fucking, you know, comes to the realization, there is no God. You know, and dies or whatever the fuck. And then you got, like, this other, like, you know, atheist, you know, researcher or some shit being like, let's rejoice and celebrate that we have deconverted somebody. Like, even I would be a little offended by that too, because, like, yo, really? I mean, but, I mean, even then, I doubt that part wouldn't even be in the film. They'd be like, damn, this is a travesty. We've deconverted him, so he understands their ways, but a sad day before we lost a life. Like, it'd probably be more like that and shit, you know? It would actually be empathetic still. Instead of being like, let's rejoice that we converted someone as they died. And not care that they died, just that they were converted. It's like, let's not mourn for the human loss. Let's, rejoice that they were converted before they died. It's like, oh my god. Ugh. Christians would grift hard off a film like that. That's what I mean. Dude, like, it wouldn't just be a grift. Dude, the far right, Christian nationalists, American nationalists, dude, everybody under the sun who's like a centrist and right thereof would be outraged to shit. Which honestly just shows that when it comes to, like, the secular society, it's just bullshit. Like, this country is still very heavily, based off of Christian theocracy, culturally at least, or otherwise too, especially. Because, like, if it truly was a secular society, like, you could get away with having, like, pro-atheist films and shit, and even if there was outrage, it wouldn't be a fucking big deal. But if it was done in America today, there'd be such fucking outrage about it, it would be insane. It would be fucking insane. And it's bullshit, because, like, what, like, I mean, the closest we can get is, like, what, like, like a movie, autobiography about, like, Hawking's, Stephen Hawking's or some shit, and that's, like, the closest we can get. Or, or some shit, or maybe, like, some little scene here and there, like, in fucking, what's it called, what's that movie called with Will Smith, with the zombies and shit? Why am I blanking on that movie? Whatever, you know that movie I'm talking about. Where he's like, there is no God, and all that shit. It's like every now and then you get like a scene here and there that's like, a little token gesture or whatever, but it's like you get like hardly anything. Like pretty much like so much of entertainment is based around like religion and shit. Like, I Am Legend. I Am Legend, yes, I Am Legend. I don't know why I was blanking on the name of that movie. Like, I don't know why. I'm a little drunk, whatever. I'm in the middle of a rant, so my mind wasn't immediately on the movie and shit. But anyway, like... Yes, I Am Legend, but, he has a scene where he's talking to the lady and shit, and, I think at the breakfast table, just, saying, because they're religious still, and he wasn't at this point, because he's, like, a researcher trying to find a cure, and he's like, there is no God, because basically the idea, and he's right, the idea is that, like, hey, like, what God would allow this type of plague and, and shit to happen, and also for there to, like, for this whole shit to just happen in the first place, basically. Saying, how can there be a God if, this suffering is happening and shit? And you can take that, thematically even to today. So it's like, yeah, he wasn't wrong. Obviously the whole fucking film is like, oh, he was an atheist because he's mad at God because his family died, while his family was trying to get evacuated because they got hit, in the helicopter and all this other shit, blah, 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 blah. Like, I mean, it had a premise still. Even that movie still has, like, a religious premise to, to it. Like, the Book of Eli, which also is the Book of Believe. That's the whole point of Eli, because, believe in Eli. So it's because, the dude's blind, but also is basically, like, the verbal, like, like, audio book for the Bible. So, but also it's, like, a badass, like, ninja, too, as well. So it's, like, there's so much in, like, movies and entertainment that are based around Christianity and shit. But, oh, no, Lord forbid you do anything that's atheist-based, though. I mean, you can get away with, like, other religions and other shit, to a degree, but it has to still be seen as, like, this, like, enlightened, benevolent, like, empathetic, spiritual thing that, very heavily God-attinged and shit, where even Christians can get with it and stuff like that. And it's just like, ugh. It just annoys me. It just annoys me so much. Okay, that was put right there. What type of God allows death in the first place? No God I want to worship. I mean, seriously. I mean, I can understand death on a natural level. And yeah, having, like, certain things, that can happen, to you naturally that can, maybe quicken, to a death and shit. But at least, having, a God that, can recognize those type of things and at least, try to minimize that for its creations and shit like that. I mean, it's like, at least that I can, you know, if there was one, and it was some, and the idea is to be like, you know, some empathetic, benevolent being, we would already have like the, you know, what the far right would call it, the communist liberal utopia, or whatever the fuck, where everyone's, you know, living happy, you know, utopian shit, like the whole, like, the Garden of Eden. And that's like the fucked up thing too, by the way. It's that like, oh, the only reason why we don't have that anymore is because we sinned. It's that we went against, you know, what God decided, you know, to think was right or wrong. Constantine was a movie where an angel comes down to protect a woman pregnant with Jesus from God who decided mankind wasn't worth saving. And it's implied to be demons at first, but by the end, you know, they're actually angels possessing people to try to kill the second coming. What the fuck? Man, what a movie, dude. What, like, crazy, like, wackaboo. What? What's the movie called? Constantine? Yeah, I actually want to look that up. Constantine? Constantine movie, yeah. Full movie. Does it have Keanu Reeves in it? Is it a 2005 movie? Lucifer versus Gabriel. Yeah, I think this is it. Constantine versus Gabriel scene. Yeah, I think this might be what you're talking about. With Keanu Reeves. Burning in Hell. Yeah, I think it is. Dude, I'm just like looking at some of this, like, thumbnails for some of this, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Dude, this movie looks like an acid trip, dude. Straight up looks like an acid trip. What is going on here, man? Like, what is going on here? Why does Gabriel look like... I mean, he's about to get himself ready for a drag show, like, and he's, like, setting up some of, you know, the, you know, costume, you know what I mean? Like, he has to set up the full costume, but he's, like, working on it, you know? Like, what is going on here, dude? What's this? Like, I mean, dude, this shit just... This movie looks like an acid trip, bro. Like, what is going on, man? It's an acid trip. Evidently, dude. Is this actually the full movie right here? Yeah, it is. Oh my god. I would say we could do a movie commentary on it right now, but I have a really strong feeling there was some copyright, and somehow this person was strangely able to get away with it due to certain circumstances, and I don't want to fuck with that. So... Like, I mean, I would say fuck it right now, but, I mean, let's watch a scene of it at least. Let me find a, like, scene, maybe. I want to see this Gabriel thing, though. What's going on here? Oh. What in the fuck is going on? Oh, I need a bowl. Hold on. I need to actually load a bowl first, because I was about to smoke, but I realized it's all cached in there. I need to, like, fucking really, before we really keep going with this, I need to make sure that we maximize my, what the fuck meter on this, because I'm already, like, what the hell, but I really, really want to, like, seriously put myself in that zone. The auto zone. Before it burns down. Before they burn the fucker to the ground. Before they burn it. Burn it all the way. Actually, kind of need to clean this a little bit, and I'm doing myself a lot of favors doing this. Oh my good googly moogly. Yes, please. Yes. Wham, bam, and thank you, ma'am. Though, I'm already, like, looking at this, though, and thinking, what the fuck? Like, what is... I mean, I've seen some acid trip movies. I think, like, the peak, like, bad trip, acid trip movie is fucking Eraserhead. But, and like, I mean, so I'm into Train Spotting. I was unironically on acid watching that movie, and that movie's fucked up, dude. I love it, but dude, that fucking baby scene on the ceiling and all that shit unironically kind of low-key traumatized me, because I was watching that on acid, dude, and that was scary as fuck. Scary as fuck. And dude, the baby scene before that, where the baby died, was all like, dude, the feels, bro. Dude, that movie was unironically a trip in it itself. I love it, though. It's a phenomenal film. Like, I mean, I saw that in theaters when it came out. Dude, I mean, it's I love it, though. Like, I mean, it was crazy. Like, I mean, the movie was just, like, insane and a roller coaster for me, especially considering the first time I saw it was on acid. Me and my buddy were just like, whoa, bro. Dude, watching Sinister on shrooms and weed was creepy as fuck. Damn. I was like, what the fuck is this? 1995? Damn, bro. Nice. Wait, why is this all like... There we go. I mean, honestly, I want to watch Train Spotting again. Because it's like the only time... I've only watched it once. And it was when I was on acid. So... I feel like if I watched it sober, I could probably absorb more of the story itself and shit, but, I mean, especially considering that it's Ewan McGregor's, like, debut, you know, as an actor and shit like that, you know, on top of, you know, a lot of the plot itself. I mean, it's just, overall, it's just a really good movie. 96. Ooh. So it's 1 year younger than I am. Nice. Oh my god, CGI is horrible. Sup, bitch? I'm Gabrielle. You interrupted my, you know, me getting ready for my drag queen concert here. Do you fucking mind? What do you want? Oh my god, I feel like I'm actually like, you know, like insane.
Betrayal, murder, genocide. Common provincial.
I'm simply seeking to inspire mankind to all that was
By handing Earth over to the
Man, Gabriel's legit actually androgynous. Dude, I'm actually like weirdly right about like Gabriel like looking like he's getting ready for a drag show, because he's in character and everything. What? Yo, what is happening?
Help me here.
Oh boy, this is getting kinky. Is Gabriel a trans woman? I don't know. I'm assuming either, you know, like a drag Gabriel or a trans woman Gabriel. But then why would she be named Gabriel if it's a trans woman?
each one of you.
I guess just because it's Gabriel's an angel, so they can just kind of be whatever the fuck they want, I guess. So I suppose, and whoever directed this movie decided to depict Gabriel as an androgynous angel human being.
From the Creator. Murders, rape,
Oh my god.
all of you. You just have to.
I feel like we're watching the beginning of a really highly professionally developed porn. Like, this is...
The universe. No other creature can make sense.
This is a versus? Are we, like, yo... Is this on Brazzers or is it YouTube? What's going on here? Oh my god, what's happening? What's going on? Ah!
Once you serve, then I'll make you worthy of
What is this? What the fuck is this?
Piece of horror. You truly find your noblest.
I want to hear this a little bit. What?
So noble.
So, is there about to be a fuck sesh or something? Like, what's about to happen here?
I'll bring you pain.
What's going on? What is this?
So that you may rise above it.
Ignores this drunk. Dude, what? Oh my, what is happening?
So that those of you who survive this reign of hell on earth will be worthy of God's love.
Gabriel.
Why does everything Christians say, even like, oh my god, even in a movie form, they can't help it. Why is everything Christians say sound like they're fucking horned the fuck up and ready to bust the fucking nut of their lifetime? Like, why? Like, especially lately, because of these Christian fascists as of late. I mean, it's just like, I've been just noticing this so much. Like, they're fucking horny fucking motherfuckers. And I thought I was a horn dog. But, like, damn. It's like, honestly, like, I mean, they can't help it. Like, whenever, like, you know, you hear some of the shit, it's like, you know, it's like you won't be able to resist God's love. It's like, oh God, whoa. Especially with how this scene is going on, it's like, okay. Because Christians have the horny, for persecution. Because they have to suppress their own horniness. Because they think it's all sinful and bad. And they only can express it when they're married and procreating children. That's the only time they can unleash it. At that point, it's beautiful under the eyes of God. They literally only have like one time a year, basically, to unleash their outlet for kinkiness. Because at that point, it's beautiful and sanctioned under God because we're procreating and creating life. I mean, his face, honestly, like where I paused the frame, honestly, that face just, you know, is like, ugh. It just describes it for me. It's like, ugh. Instead of sitting your ass in there, why don't you just sit over out here or some shit?
What?
Instead of sitting up in that fucking little weird skanky ass fucking room and shit, why don't you just chill out here? There's a chair right there. There's fucking like foldable chairs and shit. The fuck? There's literally one right there. There's, you know, you just gotta put the bass out of the way so you can plait your ass. Because that base can't be where you need to put your place. Because you need to put the base back in its real place. I'm going on a fucking spit right here.
Why do you care what I said?
I don't know, because there's more likelihood for random conversation and shit. I don't fucking know. I mean, don't bother the man, let him smoke. No, I said earlier, the next time I come in here, I say it, and I did. So there you go. I'm committed to my shit.
There's a fan in here, which takes the smoke out.
There's a fan right there, and this is a bigger area. It doesn't, like, fumigate as much.
It doesn't work.
Oh, what? Okay, well, so? This is a bigger area. It doesn't, like, just, what? Oh, my God, you fucking stubborn son of a bitch. Is there, like, anything that you're not stubborn to?
I'm not stubborn to be stubborn.
Oh. I guess I can't argue with that one. God damn it. Motherfuck. I can't argue with that. This is also what I mean. You literally are way over there, where you could be like right here. See, now there's another chair because he got up. Literally, all you have to do is just move an ashtray. Boo.
Hey, slide your butt. Go to cake. Okay.
Oh, you think you're gonna sit back there, huh?
No, I'm not here.
Because the Jews own Hollywood. Because the Jews own Hollywood is secret and give Satan it a bad look in the movies and fight against them. Jeez, the filters on YouTube. Dude, YouTube is fucking...
A chain hanger.
Oh, well, there you go. See? Oh, yeah. And boom. That's right. Oh, now he's all up in the grill because it's like, what the hell? You're all up. You're where I was sitting.
In your spot. You're in your spot. Yes, who cares?
Christianity. Wait, you literally can't say Christianity as just one singular word? Like, oh my good lord. Wow. Wow. Good lord.
Yeah, I got my whole little nest going in there.
Well, yeah, evidently.
So it used to be over here, but Harvey took it over.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's like in such weird denial about it, though, where it's just like, oh, you know, I don't, like, you know, fucking, you know, move things around all the time. It's like, I mean, you kind of do every time you hear it, every time I'm back there.
Yes, he does.
I know, that's what I mean.
I've lost a bunch of stuff back there.
I mean, it's like, I mean, even I've noticed it. I'm just like, bro, I mean, it's like, one of these days, like, you know, I mean, you and him, you know, I mean, well, I mean, like, you as Harley, but, like, and you, and then, like, you know, just fucking, like, go there, just, like, reorganize it so it all is more properly sourced so everyone knows where the fuck shit is, and do not change shit. And if there is going to be some changes, then and be communicative and informative with said things, you know, or at least, you know, leave some sort of a communicational note of some sort.
Damn. That dog has some huge nuts.
His Peaches. I nickname him the Peaches. He has little peaches, yeah. Little duo of peaches there.
I wish I were so endowed.
Well, that was a mild TMI.
Not that I use them anymore, but it's...
Yeah, and at least he's not really that much of a horny son of a bitch. Like, he's actually very sweet when it comes to other dogs. Because the dog right over there, which basically is like his little girlfriend now at this point, I mean, I haven't seen him try to go mount mode on her. Probably because she's spayed. And the golden retriever over here, he's been very friendly with, too. He's also a female.
Cut my legs, so I'm happy with that.
Oh my god, okay. Man, the last time I took him to the store at my work, my manager happened to be there. And she's been kind of active because she broke up with her, or had a divorce with her husband, and has now been more free to kind of, you know, be herself and shit like that. So basically more active as well, you know, having, you know, Tinder accounts and things like that. And straight up, he noticed it and just went, the first thing he wanted to do, you know, with her was hump her leg. And I was just like, and he was just not stop wanting to, like...
She must have had sex and he smelled it and...
Like I said, she's been active, yes. You know, so, like, he immediately, I was just like, Zukov, you motherfucker. And she just kind of looked at me and like, really? She's like, your dog is really going to do this to me? I'm like, Zukov is a humping machine. I mean, when he smells love in the air, yes, he is. And it doesn't really matter what species of love that is. I mean, because unfortunately, yeah.
Hey, go after the squirrels, see how that feels.
I don't think he's noticed them ever. I know he's like noticed the birds a lot. Like he'll watch them occasionally, but I don't think he's noticed much of the squirrels that much.
Yeah.
See how this has been.
It should be about squirrel mating time.
Nah, well, yes, but it's also sometime during the winter too. Sometimes around the fall, I've seen them get a little funky. Because they don't really hibernate that often around here because it doesn't really get too cold, you know, for them to hibernate, but they will have their moments when it does get that cold. But they will, during the winter, also procreate, and, you know, while they're all fat as fuck, you know, a lot of that, at least for females, will go to, you know, their babies. So...
Yeah, when they're
I've seen
all plump with food and...
Oh my god, when they're... I love it when they're like these little fat sons of bitches. They're like...
in the fall.
Yeah, I know, it's great.
It's when they're throwing up on their food.
I've seen them, like right now, a lot of them, at least around here, have been kind of plump because I'm still feeding. I actually have walnuts and almonds that I've stocked up for them. Does he still try to impede Bandito? Well, yeah, they play around with each other, but, I mean, last stream, they were actually rubbing heads, you know, against each other. Zukov was sniffing Bandit, and Bandit was rubbing his head all up against Zukov. So they're buddies, they're very friendly, you know, with each other, but at the same time, they will have their back and forths. Like, you know, it's like a love-hate relationship between the two of them.
Yeah, they love to hate each other, or they hate to love each other.
Probably both.
One or the other.
It's both. Like, they love to hate and hate to love each other because, like, I mean, Bandit, I'll have Bandit on my lap, or, you know, Zukov will show up to Bandit, especially if I'm petting him, and Bandit will rub his face all up against Zukov when he's sniffing him. Like, you know, there's been too many times I've seen that where I know that they're chill with each other. Like, as much as that, they will swipe at each other, mostly Bandit doing that, but Zukov will, you know, stick one of his paws out there to do it back at him. I mean,
Zukov wants to play. And
yeah, I mean, it's weird, but it's their way of playing with each other.
Bandit's just like, leave me alone.
Yeah, like, Bandit doesn't necessarily... I mean, I guess in a way he gets it, but he doesn't like it, but he understands it in a way where he knows that the dog is just trying to play, but he's just gonna fucking, you know, swipe at him, but he knows the dog is a weird masochist, so he's gonna enjoy getting swiped at and scratched at, and he's gonna enjoy the pain, because he's gonna take it like the bitch he is to the king.
Out of my butt.
Yeah, he's gonna, you know, he's just gonna take it against the king, bro, you know, he's just like... King Bandito.
And finally, after like
shit's good.
a day and a half, Bandit showed up.
Bandit's been... He was here last night. Like, last night, you know, he was rubbing his head up against Zukov like 3 times when I was holding him. He was here.
I didn't see
Probably
him all day yesterday.
Probably because he keeps escaping out of my window.
Today.
Well, because I don't have my window locked, so he gets out from there. So every night and every time I happen to be home or some shit, if my door isn't closed, like that window is open because of fucking Bandit. So if he is here, he ain't here for long.
What they have the stick for?
Well, I mean, it's not like cold enough for me to lock it, but you know, and warm enough for me to leave it open. So it's just like I don't really care that much. So it's not whatever. It's that winter when I give a shit. But then I just close the door.
Yeah,
I need to give you some more bones. Like, that bone is basically down to a fucking nub, bro. Like, I need to get you some more bones, dude.
That's like a little twig.
I know, it's like a little twig bone. I need to get you some more bones, dude. Well, it's actually pretty healthy for him, especially now at this point, because his teeth is all developed. And he has had pretty decent, healthy, big chompers, too.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I think that comes from the shepherd in him.
Yeah, Mr. Chomps.
Luckily, he's very sweet with it. Like, he isn't actually, like, aggressive when he comes to biting you. I like that.
Yeah, go to pet him and he'll just like...
I don't know why he does it. I don't, like, need him to do that all the time, but he just does it so fucking much.
Which, yeah, like
God,
you say,
are you, like, trying to, like, crunch down?
He's not aggressive.
Like it's goddamn concrete? What are you...
He still chomps, and just like, look, hey, chill.
Are you, like, a stone grinder or something? Like, grinding down stone? Like, goddamn, bro.
And he's munching on that bone. Substance the teeth and gives them lots of calcium.
Yeah.
And like vitamins.
Aww.
And teeth sharpeners.
Yeah.
Look at them chompers on you.
I love showing him off because, I mean, for not that big of a dog, I mean, he's got some fucking serious chompers. I know he has at least, like, 11% American Bully in him about. So, he's probably got some of that because of that, too. I mean, I know his, like, shoulders and, like, kind of his chest area, a lot of that is definitely kind of American Bully-like. His, like, neck and his, like, head is very German Shepherd-like. Those ears are very Border Collie-like. The fur pattern on his legs are definitely Collie. But, like, how his overall, like, fur is. Yeah. His fur pattern overall is Shepherd-like, but how the fur is, you know, laid out is kind of Collie-like. At least in his feet. Yeah.
Yeah, Looks like a blue healer type of.
Well, he's not blue healer at all. He's mostly a shepherd, collie, American bully. A little, weirdly enough, a little bit of Dachshund and Pomeranian. And Chihuahua, weirdly enough. So he has like some small dog breeds in him, and I don't know how in the fuck that got in there, but he does.
You can tell by the tail, the way it's
curled. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it's not like totally, but yeah, like his tail is kind of shaped like a shepherd tail, but it will curl up. I mean, shepherds can curl their tails up too, you know, a little bit, but not that much.
He has like a poop chute where he could take a dump and it doesn't get on his tail.
Looks like a Goofus boys. Yeah, he is a little Goofus. He looks like a Goodiest boyus. He is a Goodiest boyus. He's just a baby. Just a sweet little baby. Yeah, what?
For getting quiet, you pay attention. For making noise, you ignore us.
It's just a sweet, cute little punk. It's a sweet baby. Look at you. You're just a good little boy. Look at you. Yeah. Yeah. You want this? You want... Oh, you stretchy bye-bye. You stretchy boy. Yeah. Whoop. Yeah. Good boy. Good boy. Hold on. Hold on. Whoop. Oh, you almost got it. Funny enough, landed right next to his bone. Dude, you're so loud and you chew on everything, you fucking little... Has no one taught you etiquette? Do you know what manners are, sir?
Yeah, if you'd stay out of my trash, I could leave my door open.
I don't think he's ever gonna learn that.
Otherwise, I go to sleep, I wake up, trash everywhere.
I honestly, like, he will, like, no matter how much I'm like, no, because there's one right here, like, he just does. It's like, you little fuck. I'm like, like, the one thing, I still need to, like, deal with him about. It's just, like, you need to, like, stop being a weirdo and fucking getting into the trash bins. Look at you, you're a little punk. Look at you, you little
you bum.
Little. You're just a little sweet boy. Yes, you is. Yes, you is.
I wish Alex would get over the COVID so I could go play pool again.
Oh man, at least I'll have the next 2 days. Thursday's payday, so that'll be a lot better.
Yeah, that's my favorite day of the week. Payday.
Well, actually, I wouldn't technically be totally available. Well, I don't know. I'm thinking of having a 6-day work week just so I can make hella OT.
Yeah, if you don't have anything else to do, just getting lots of money always helps.
Yeah, and honestly, I want to make sure that these kind of fucking wages get through and shit. I heard for the rumor mill, apparently, that they got through finally, but I don't know if that's totally true. Until I get my shit, so I can see the pay stub. Bye-bye.
Aren't we being friendly?
Bye-bye.
There's something to chew on down here. Besides the cord.
Bye-bye.
No chewing on the cords. Oh, Paul.
Yeah, it's the baseball. He wants that.
That's what you're looking for.
He wants his baseball. Oh.
Did someone have a plea?
Oh. Come here. Bring that ball over here, bro. Come here. Look at you. You sweet boy. Bring that ball over. Bring the ball over.
Yeah, bring the ball to one of us. We'll throw it for you.
Come on. Don't be a prick.
Don't just sit there, stare and wag.
Yeah, you're just staring, dude. You're an asshole, man.
And wagging.
Oh my god. Why are you pawing at that? You man. Oh my god.
Yeah, you already ate up all this wood.
No, that was us cutting it up. Why are you dropping that? No! That's for me, you prick! What the fuck? No!
Well, puppies like Pop-Tarts too.
No, they don't. Stop!
Yes, they do.
Stop it! Go get your ball! What the fuck?
Trust me, puppies like Pop-Tarts.
Go get your ball. Go get that ball. Go get your ball. Go get your ball. Go get your ball. Go get your ball. Fuck you. Go get your ball, you prick.
That looks like he's getting his balls.
Not your peaches, your ball. Go get your ball. Oh my god, he doesn't. I just wanted to enjoy a Pop-Tart and maybe toss a ball, but no, he wants to be a weirdo, harass me if I can go for his peaches. No! Why?
Oh, brown sugar cinnamon, my favorite.
Yo, G. Do you mind? This is mine. Fuck you. Don't give me that look. Don't give me that look. No.
Oh, them sad puppy dog eyes. He's real good at the sad puppy dog eyes thing.
He's too good. No. Oh my god, you're an asshole.
If that hit the ground, it would have been gone.
Excuse me. No. No. Ah.
I can see from over here. Yeah, you got them sad puppy dog eyes going.
Oh my god. You're trying to guilt trip so hard right now, bro. Look at your little feet. They're just so spread out. Like, oh my god. Sprawling his feet like a weirdo. What? What the fuck? What the hell do you could possibly want right now? You just had a treat. You literally just had one. That's right. That's what I thought. I guess we're not tossing the ball after all, little jerk.
No, he knows they have another Pop-Tart over there.
No, I don't. See? No, I don't. See? Yeah, I do. He doesn't have to know that. He doesn't see. He can't see from over here.
Oh, Banders.
Bandit! Get him, Bandit. Get him, Bandit. Wow, Sukov, good job. Come here, Bandit. Oh, you want to be up here? Come here, buddy. Come here, Bandit.
I think somebody wants dinner.
Yeah, here, Sukov. Oh, yeah. Come on, buddy. Oh, what's up, Bandito?
I think just like me, Bandit doesn't like a schnoz up his butt.
Oh, what's up, Bandito? Oh, you sweet
That's
boy,
so good.
babe. Oh, sweet bandito.
Yeah, no,
The boys.
Snaz up the butt.
The boys.
Speaking of which, I gotta get them guys some food. And me some food, too.
Well, I can at least hold Bandit and hold the line on him, because I know how much he harasses you. So, looks like you will vibe out pretty hardcore. Yeah, do you want to fuck some Bandit? I don't think you do.
You must have disappeared for 2 days.
Oh, you little king. Your butty, yes.
And then sit there right in the way so I can't lay down in the bed without having a cat.
Sweet bandito. Yes.
The other cat stayed out of the way. Not Bandit, he's right there. That's okay.
He has to make sure that he gets all the attention and love. Be right in your face. Well, I gotta put him here anyway, but whatever.
Or in the lap, as the case may be.
You're such a sweet buddy.
That's okay. Yeah?
All the boys are getting the attention now.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Okay, enough with the chomping. Yeah, that's a good suckers.
Oh, you're just a big old purr machine. Little Zukov getting jealous over here. Having to get love from somebody else, secondhand love. Oh my god, why you just like flopped the paw? Well, somebody's comfortable.
Somebody's sniffing on the dog food.
Aye. Don't get into that. Sorry, I had to alert him, Bandit. I didn't mean to yell in your ear.
Donuts dry tonight, and I should take you for a walk.
Well, he's just chilling right now. Straight up.
He loves going for the walk.
Little midnight walk. You vibing for a midnight walk? He's vibing for a midnight chill. I'm like, damn.
He's up for getting dinner.
Yeah, he's just like, I want some food and I want to chill. Man, you're a big chungus boy. Look at you.
Okay, I'll get you guys some food. If I can get up out of here.
Yeah, okay, maybe we could have upgraded the chair a little bit on this one.
Yeah, a little bit taller would be nice.
Well, you know, that's why I could have moved the base to put it in its place somewhere else. But no, you had to choose that one. Yep, he knows.
Yeah, and you're gonna stand on all the plates.
Well, I tried, but it looks like he immediately already knew. It was just like, nope, I'm not having any of it. Well, now you're stuck, Bandit.
No one's standing between me and my food, huh, Banders?
Whoa! That's a ludicrous
Took
speed.
off, you're a little bit too quick there. You need to be slower or let the kitty run.
Damn, they went to ludicrous speed. They've gone to plaid. Like, whoa.
Did you go to plaid speed? Except that I just caught it at the very end the other day.
Oh, Spaceballs on TV?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, we have a DVD of it. I'm pretty sure it's free on YouTube. Hold on, let me like look at it.
Well, if you have YouTube.
I do. Oh, you have to rent it. Oh. I thought it was free. I think at one point it was. Because I know there was a point where I watched it free on YouTube. Maybe somebody uploaded it. Hold on, let me see. No? I guess not. Damn. I mean, people were able to upload some, like, you know, scenes and things like... Oh, wait, no, hold on. Wait, 21 hours ago? Oh my god, somebody tried to upload this 21 hours ago. It's not even it. It's straight up, like, 21st century... Wait, it's fucking... some random frozen scene of, like, the new Maverick movie. What the fuck? Oh my god, wow. So, some clickbait shit. What the fuck? Well, damn. You have to make so much noise. You're like, I reclaim my turf. Now I shall make noise. It will roll around all over this chat if I have reclaimed my turf. So yeah, at least that was a little better, you know, with him hanging out and chilling in here, honestly. Because at least, you know, then it's not just random, like, little off comments where I have to be like, what in the fuck is he, like, jimbering off about? Because now, at least, there's, like, a back and forth. That's better, at least. Honestly, I mean, there's, like, a couple, you know, ways where I can kind of reorganize, you know, things around in here where it could be a little bit of a better setup, honestly. So, I mean, actually, honestly, thinking about it, there's a way to where we could probably have, like, a little couch set up and have, like, a little roll desk or something like that. Ooh, that'd be pretty dope, because then I could have, like, a little desk, or maybe just keep the one I have now, but just have, like, a little couch set up or some shit. And maybe have, like, some more proper shelving, and we're just kind of reorganize a little bit here and there and take some stuff out. Because honestly, like, the thing right here, this wooden piece of shit, like, this can actually be kind of taken out, honestly, low-key. And I have another one that's pretty much built off the same furniture as this, right over here, that could also be taken out. So, there's actually a couple things that can be taken out and replaced with, you know, some better things that can reorganize and better organize, yeah, some stuff in here. But, you know, that's, you know, one project at a time type of thing. You know, that would probably be more down the line. It's more of the rest of the house I'm worried about, honestly, so. I mean, in here is alright for what it is in the meantime, at least, so. Because once I get the rest of the house sorted out, there's more space, you know, to move shit out of one area, you know, to deal with another, so. It's kind of the whole idea, at least, is try to get one place, you know, sorted out, so then we can have a spot, at least in the short term, to put a bunch of random shit there, you know, to deal with one area, you know, sort stuff out and reorganize things, you know, take what's, you know, basically just trash out, and then, you know, keep what's worth keeping and all this type of shit. So, just little things like that. Yeah. I think 3 is good. Save the other 3 for tomorrow. Hopefully I can convince him to kind of reorchestrate a nest. Like, reconform a nest or something, because I feel like that'd at least be a little better. Especially with downtime. You know, if we're just kind of just sitting around, not much happening and stuff, and he pops in randomly. At least, you know, it could be better for that. Because honestly, if he's commentating on some random radio news that he's listening to and shit, then could kind of react to whatever the fuck he happens to think about that weird shit, or at least, you know, see what he's listening to on that, so. But I'm also definitely pretty fucking hungry myself. I made myself, actually, which I have the last half of it over here, but I made myself a breakfast burrito, but I grabbed some maple syrup off the shelf, because we don't have any maple syrup at a sandwich bar, which kind of sucks, because we have different, like, breakfast burritos and things like that, and honestly, maple syrup would go a long fucking way when it comes to, you know, like, breakfast burritos and shit, and straight up, Oh. I made myself fucking a banging ass fucking fucking little breakfast burrito, and all I have to do is just basically just kind of reheat it a little bit, and then boom. I kind of wish, honestly, I put a little bit more syrup on there, because that's all it really needed. And honestly, thinking about it, salt and pepper too. Like, because that would add like a little bit of a ting to it, but not enough to be like a full-on crazy spice mode. And ooh, that would be so good. Because now that I put some maple syrup over there, frankly, I'm just gonna like start making myself some breakfast burritos for, you know, the next couple days. Actually, you know, tomorrow I'm gonna be like, seeing who's working there and be like, yo, can you hook me up with my specialty breakfast burrito? Like, you saw how I made it last time. All you have to do is just, you know, add a little salt and pep. That's it. Actually, I gotta really go to the bathroom real quick, so I want to do this, y'all. Turn this down because I know it's gonna be hella loud. There we go. And be right back. So, blah, blah, blah. God, gee, whoa! Fucking hell! You're going like insane over here. Look at you. Look at you. You're insane. Insane. Boy. Ugh. Crazy boy. You thought I threw it already. What the hell? Goofball. Man, evidently he was jot full of energy, Jesus. Before he even left, he was just like, suddenly it's like he took it like a fucking snort of cocaine. He was just like, boom, zooming around everywhere. Goofy boy. And, oh, now you're all drained out. But now you want with that ball? You want the baseball now? You don't know which ball you want now. Goofball. What are you doing? Are you really that, like... Do you really not understand how to grab a ball? Yeah. You can't just... God, you're a goof. Go get it. Goofball.
We got a red ball.
I'm pretty sure he stole that from his very jealous little girlfriend dog, Pinata. Because honestly, that's the only spot, or that's the only place I could think of where he keeps grabbing these different balls that I have not bought for him. Because I have not bought that for him. He just happened to be on our yard one day, and I'm like, oh, I wonder where Zukov stolen this from. Couldn't have been from the next door neighbor and their dog.
Either there. Take it out of the box. Duh.
Do I need a refeed food bowl? What do you do? Yo, there's like no... Zukov, if it's empty... I was actually stuff.